Sorry about that. I guess that's what happens when we are in Mercury retrograde on New Year's. Hey everybody, welcome in. Happy New Year's. Happy 2024. I'm so honored that you're spending part of your New Year's Day with me. If you're new here, go ahead and click that live chat button. Feel free to set any questions that you're comfortable sharing in such a big public format. I'm happy to answer them. I'll be here for at least 2 hours answering questions, maybe a little more. So I'll get to as many as I possibly can. But just remember, this is a public format and I don't want you to ask too many personal things if you don't want them out there. Feel free to go make a little sock puppet account if you want. That's totally fine with me. If you don't know who I am, I'm Danielle Stimpson. I'm the owner of Learn Reiki Philadelphia, and I'm also a Reiki instructor. You can learn more about my live online Reiki certification classes. You can sign up for a one-on-one distance healing or tarot reading, or you can shop my Reiki charged crystals at learnreikiphiladelphia.com. This month, all one-on-one 1-hour readings via Zoom are $10 off. There's information that I put in the pinned post in the chat. There's a coupon code and it's Tarot2024. That's Tarot2024. If you schedule a one-on-one full-length reading with me, you save $10. That makes it only $65. So just putting that out there. But I'm hoping that today is enough to get you kind of started on your new year. I hope that everyone has an incredibly prosperous new year and that it's the start of good things to come. I have some crystals out. I have a few decks ready and I'm all cleared and ready to start. So everybody go ahead, take a deep breath in and out. That'll just kind of help clear the energy, set the tone for yourself. And I'm so grateful to have y'all here. So let's go ahead into the chat, say hi to everyone who's currently here, and then we'll go on into the tarot. So let's see. Hey, welcome in everybody. So many familiar faces, some new ones too. We've got Maria, Mary, Chris, Dell, all the way from Ireland, lovely. Jennifer Vatsa, Patricia, Renee, Fiat Luna, Kelly McCool, welcome. Little Tree, Happy New Year. JS, good to see you. Flower, Christina, Renee. Lori, lots of love to you all the way in Ireland. Joanna and Grace. Jenny. Hades the cat, hello in. Hello, hello. Okay, everybody. Awesome. So let me start off from the top. Let me just transition over to some beautiful crystals and our second camera for the cards. Awesome. So I just have a couple of crystals in here, some of them just off the grid, some of them just in the grid. For those of you who are visiting for the first time, I normally do crystal grids and Reiki 5 times a week. You're always welcome here to get some Reiki, hang out with good people. And today we're just going to find out some lovely things. So again, everybody go ahead and take a deep breath in and out. Cool. So I lifted the energy. So let's go ahead and dive on in. I'll start at the top and I'll do my best. Of course, we can only do kind of micro snapshot kind of answers, but we'll see what comes up. So let's see. I also have my pendulum. So if I want to check in and see what I'm seeing, get a little bit more depth, I can. Today's decks, we have the Steampunk Tarot, the Fountain Tarot, and the Tarot of Dreams by Ciro Marchetti. And I'll just be kind of moving back and forth between them as I feel guided. So let's give a good shuffle. And while I give a good shuffle, there's a special way I like to lift the energy. And usually we go into the chat for that. And you can put it in the chat, but you can also just reflect on it internally. Go ahead and think of the things that you are grateful for. It's the quickest way to lift the energy, the space that you're in, and of yourself. And I'm just going to think of all the things I'm grateful for as I shuffle this deck and get ready to answer some questions. Okay. Fantastic. Okay, one more big shuffle. So we've got, oh, okay. So Chris, your dog Eva's breathing on her own under ER vet observation. Okay, cool. I love hearing that. I'm glad that that's good news that she's looking at getting discharged. Yeah, because of the parade. Gotcha. I'm glad to hear about that. Thank you for letting us know. Patricia, that's a wonderful, wonderful statement there. Well wishes to everyone. Will I be doing something for the Lunar New Year in February? I've been thinking about it. Let's see. So Patricia Collins, will you ever meet your twin flame? We'll start with that. Sometimes with tarot, phrasing a question might make a difference. I'll read it as you wrote it because I feel like that's the most important expression, but we might just sort of shift the phrasing a little bit to be like, to give a timeline as to when that may happen kind of thing. But let's go ahead and check in for Patricia Collins. Meeting your twin flame. Okay, so I pulled 3 cards for you, and I feel like they tell a story. So the first is 5 of Wands. The second is 4 of Wands. And the third is Temperance, which I'm going to go through each one. So 5 of Wands, this is a lot of struggle and strife, and a lot of times with 5 of Wands, it can feel very adversarial. There's a lot of action, like everyone trying to do something, but nobody really going in with a plan, coming out with a plan. It's a lot of chaos. It's almost like everybody trying really hard. The 4 of Wands is about celebration, like big celebration. This is usually considered like a really good energy card. It's also the card of being in charge of your efforts. Wands are about action and how you're showing up and what you're doing. So this 4 of Wands is about basically putting up the initial corner points of your life. It's like you're basically hanging your bows where you want them to be. It's 4 of Wands is very much a card of starting to build a stable life or situation that you enjoy very much. Very different energy than the 5 of. And then it's Temperance. Temperance is a major arcana card. So major arcana, big life themes, things that we're less able to shift personally, things that we kind of have to deal with more. It's almost like it could be a lesson, or it could just be an immovable fact of the world around you kind of thing. Temperance being that this is the major arcana, this is what you're looking towards, or how you can start to work towards opening up that space to bring in that soulmate twin flame. So the way I read it is this. It's like a trying too hard, putting so much energy into it to find this other person, where you could put your energy into building the life that you want and celebrating what you have. And ultimately that will be a little bit of both, going out and building the life that you want. If you bring those into balance, that will be more likely to happen. I hope that helps. So the answer is not no. The answer is definitely more like a not trying so hard to go out and find the right person and bring them in, but more like building the life you want, doing the things that make you happy, prioritizing yourself. And that will more than likely bring them close. Like live the life you want to share with somebody, and then they'll kind of show up. And temperance is about putting the energy you put out and the energy you put within in balance. And I think we have a Gertie. I just heard a cat meow, and that's like a blessing on your reading. So that's a good thing. So I would read that as a yes, but this is more like bringing in that temperance, bringing in balance. I hope that helps, Patricia. So let's see. Hey, Gail Guire, good to see you. And I apologize if I'm looking all over the screen. It's just looking for questions. Okay, so Patricia, I hope that helps. Oh yes, and please do hit the like button, and thank you for everyone who already has. And Mary, anything that Spirit wants you to know. Gotcha. So let's do anything that Spirit wants Mary to know. Yeah, we got some good cards for you too. So anything Spirit wants you to know, the first card we have here is the Page of Wands. Oh, you're welcome, Patricia. Yeah, do you want to come up? You want to read cards too, little Gertie? Come on up, Gertie. Come on up. Yeah, you blessing our readings. Yeah. So Page of Wands. Page of Wands is about new opportunities to step forward again in action. So this is throwing your hat in the ring, taking a step in a new direction. Also, this can be messages. Generally in this deck, which is the Steampunk Tarot, this Page of Wands, he's seen as a little bit impish. It's sort of like, you know, he could be a little sneaky. Oftentimes in the traditional understanding of tarot, this can be seen as a card of Fool's Rush In, but I don't get that vibe from it. This is like I know what I can act on. I know what the messages are. I know what I can act on. It's a matter of whether or not I want to. So that's the vibe I'm kind of getting. Then you get a Major Arcana card, which is the Chariot. The Chariot is about big, powerful movement forward. It's about taking balance of everything, ideally the balance of everything in your life, and kind of steering that momentum forward, bringing it where you want to go. So this is very much a you in control kind of thing going forward. And then Six of Cups, this is kind of like a caution. So I usually read minor arcana, like 6 of, 4 of, 5 of, things like that, as, again, like minor. This is how we show up every day. The major arcana, we're a little less able to shift and change. They're bigger themes. So the way I take it is you're at kind of a crossroads of, I have some ideas. I can move on them if I want to, but do I want to? And then the Six of Cups is about nostalgia, looking back at the past. But there's also this idea of sometimes when we look back, the old expression is looking through rose-colored glasses, seeing the past as better than it was. So definitely make sure that you're not just thinking back in the idea of comfort or the way it was, but definitely to move forward with bold action when you feel the time is right. So that would be for you. So let's see, I want to make sure. So that's for Mary. Oh, Mary, thank you so much for being here and all the kind things there. So Spirit wants you to know, don't look back with rose-colored glasses. I mean, it's okay to think back and reflect and be grateful. That's cool, but don't get stuck looking in the past. Definitely move forward when you feel like it's time, and the universe will kind of be in your favor to move forward when it feels like time to do it. So that's what Spirit wants you to know. And I'm so glad you find this channel uplifting, and thank you for being here. Happy New Year. Okay. All right. Nice. Okay, so I'm just moving back and forth, trying to make sure I get everyone. Thank you, Mary. So Maria is next. Maria is next. Maria Cartwright. I would love a general reading. Any guidance, information that your guides want you to hear right now. Gotcha. So let's see. So, guidance from the guides for Maria. Okay, so you got 3 cards. So what do your guys want you to hear now? That was your question. So Queen of Cups. This is about, Queen energy is very like management oriented. It's like they understand all the people involved, all the things in play, and they figure out how to make it work. And this is definitely the Queen of Cups. This is emotions. So this is basically your guide saying like to own your expertise, your awareness, and you're providing a space where people tend to feel more emotionally fulfilled around you. You're making sure others' emotional fulfillment is tended to. Definitely make sure your own is attended to, and you will continue kind of growing this Queen of Cups, this manager of the emotional realms together. This is a good reflection on you too. After that, we have the World and the 3 of Wands. And you're here again giving blessings. Yeah, you feel the energy? Yes, you do. The World is about culmination, fulfillment, and getting to a point of finality, sort of finishing things. There may be things that you've been working on for quite some time. They're going to come to their fullness. The World is all about like being on top of the world. You set an intention and you're now there. Come on up. Yay, Gertie. Okay, so you're getting blessings too. Hey. Good stuff. And then there's also this Three of Wands. Three of Wands I often read as like a waiting for your ship to come in. This is like the energy you've put out, the causes you've put out, the situations you have created, neutralized, expanded, all the different things. This is about the work you have put out in the past kind of coming back. So I feel like there's something coming in for you. It's usually a good thing, and I get a good feeling from it, but I would feel like this might be where we have this culmination. And this Three of Wands, I feel like it's almost like this year is a big level up, calling in the return of your energy, the return of your investments and how you showed up for others, maybe in work, maybe in life, probably both. Good things coming back to you, helping to boost you to a point of achievement and goals met. And it's very much focused on, again, emotional fulfillment and being the emotional support for others and helping in that way. So this is really lovely. I would say keep being the great person that you are. And if you have any specific goals that you set a while ago that you've been working towards, now's a good time to reflect back on them and see if that gives you any information forward. But yeah, so I hope that that helps, Maria. I'm so glad you're here, and happy 2024. The World is an excellent card to get, by the way. Oh, a little kissy one. Little kitty wanted a kiss. There we go. Awesome. So we have Jenny. You would like to know about your on and off romantic partner. Gotcha. And Mary, you're welcome. Oh, no worries, JS. You go ahead. I'll answer it and you can watch later. And if I don't get to your question until later, everyone, you can always rewatch this and fast forward to your answers. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so Jenny's romantic partner. So let's see. Let's put these back in the deck. Hey, you want to bring your good energy over here, little kitten? Here you go. Help me clear the energy of these cards. Oh, good stuff. Oh, good stuff. Thank you. Okay. Okay, so let's ask this question for Jenny. Okay, so here's what I got. All right, so the first card that kind of came in, so this is for Jenny in regards to on again, off again relationship. Sorry to say, I don't see any love cards here. The Nine of Wands is about feeling like, are we almost there yet? Are we almost there yet? He's worse for the wear. If you look at him, you could see that he's looking out this periscope and he's hoping he's close to shore, and he's a little beat up. he's hoping that this is almost over, feeling beat up. And also feeling like you've put out a lot of energy and not gotten a lot in return. The next card is the Four of Cups, and this is apathy. Cups are, again, about emotions, and so that's what we want to see in a relationship, is like good cards in this suit. This is a cup of like refusal, or sort of like, this is sort of unfulfilling. It's almost like more of the same. So you can see this guy, his arms are folded, he doesn't look very open, and several of these cups are empty. It's like someone brought him another cup of wine and he's like, that doesn't get me anywhere. So unfortunately, it's like lack of fulfillment kind of thing. And then I get the Seven of Pentacles. Pentacles are not romantic. It's like literal tangible things. generally speaking, most of the cards in that suit. This is the card of taking stock, taking inventory, and sometimes it's of literal coin, and like this is like a merchant doing inventory, say at the end of the year. How much do I have? How much is it worth? That kind of thing. This is more life. This is more kind of saying, well, what do I have invested in this relationship? What's important to me? Is the energy I'm putting into this and what I'm getting out of it worth it for me? So I see this less as like something that's going to switch lanes and get into something heavily romantic, and more like there might be a tendency to kind of move on, or it may just slowly start to fizzle. I'm really sorry. I wish it was better news. I hope there's someone better. But yeah, sorry about that, Jenny. But that's what I got. But you never know. I could absolutely be wrong. Everything about tarot is kind of up for entertainment. It's as meaningful to you as it is to you. Awesome. So I hope that helps. And Mary, that's sweet. Nice to spend the new year with such wonderful souls. There are amazing people here. And thank you all for being here. But lots of love to you, Jenny. Lori next. But see if there's another question you have, Jenny. There might be. You can ask about other interests too. Let's see. So for Lori, okay. You want to give the cards a little energy clean? Oh, good stuff. Oh, you put your energy on it. That's nice. All right. So we have the cat there. Thank you, Gertie. So the next is Lori. Will I get a new job this year? And yes, I'm getting good things, I'm getting in between things, but it also starts with the same card that Jenny's last reading started with, and I promise I shuffled. You saw me do it. So this is kind of how you're feeling now, worse for the wear. Like you've really been looking for a job for a long time, and yeah, you're done being like churned through everything. You're ready for this to be settled. The next card is the Queen of Swords. She's very different than the Queen of Cups that we talked about earlier. This is the queen of balanced logic and clarity, like mental clarity. This is someone who can see through BS and have like laser focus to say, yes, I want this. No, I don't want that. It's the ultimate like female CEO. If I could give her the perfect job, it would be like Secretary of State. She sees everything. She understands everything. She doesn't say everything, but she knows what's going on, and she'll make her decision accordingly. She's got the sword of truth, but she doesn't usually use it as a weapon, but her tongue can be sharp when it needs to be. But this to me is like, you feel really beat up, and then you get this mental clarity of how to move forward, like either changing or updating your resume, CV, or how you're going about meeting people or finding opportunities for jobs. Like there's a balance and like a logic upgrade. It ends with the Emperor, and I feel like the Emperor can mean a lot of things. I almost feel like I'm going to drop another couple cards. The Emperor is all about really strict boundaries, strict criteria. This would be the ultimate leader emperor kind of thing. This is rules, stability, and this is even potentially heavy-handed leadership. This is someone who rules usually without a lot of input. They may choose to accept input, but they don't rely on it by any means. And I feel like this is kind of you going from, okay, these are the things that don't work. This is why I feel really beat up. Getting really keen on balancing logic, intuition, and the truth, and like speaking very clearly and being very direct. And then the Emperor is a major arcana card of like leadership, the way things are, and probably the way things have been for a long time. This can also point to systems and structures that are very old, meaning that this could be like your field of work. Like there's some old structures and practices and policies and procedures that maybe it's time to leave in the past, and the people up at the top don't want to change. So I'm going to pull a couple more cards on that. The bottom line is this is going in a better direction. So that's good. But let's see. Can we get 2 more cards on Lori's job prospects and getting a job in this new year? One more big shuffle. Okay, so this is what I get. So this is like, I basically just ask for more illumination on your question. Will you get a job in the new year based on what we've seen? The first card I get is 9 of Swords. So 9 of Swords is about worry, but the good news is these swords aren't real. They're not gonna like actually jump out and bite you. This is about like waking up in the night. This is about worry. It's not about the swords being actually there. It's about worry. So I think that your guides are acknowledging like how much worry this has brought up for you. 7 of Wands. This is about giving the good fight. So you may have to stand up for yourself and things like that. And you may have to go in front of a few people and almost say like, well, I know I'm worthy of this job. And here there's wisdom in this card. So I usually look at this card as like a know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, know when to run. She's got the upper hand. She's got a wand. She can give fight back to these people who are beneath her, trying to like stab up at her. And there's a lot of them, but they're really not in a power position. Also, she's not trapped here. She's not cornered. She can step away if she's just like, my energy, my time are better used elsewhere. You're not entitled to it. But this also could be you standing up and saying, well, you actually, I think you're worth a smack in the head and like smacking. So basically this is deciding where you want to put your energy. So when we go back to this, like you got 2 9s and they're 2 very difficult. So 9s usually happen right before something shifts or is completed. That 9 of Wands is about all the energy you've put out and being like, can I just have a job already? Like, can this just be over? Like, I'm over it. I just want to show up and work really hard. This is logic and kind of seeing through like, wait a minute, there's some either political nonsense or like societal nonsense or even sexism or something along those lines, and kind of seeing through it and seeing like, oh, I see what I'm really battling here. I'm really battling like these old antiquated ways of looking at things and kind of systemic issues within this field. Also, this could be about impressing the one right person. And that's what I get with letting go of worry as much as you can. Like this is basically your guide saying this feeling of dread and worry isn't as warranted as you might think. I learned to read tarot. My tarot teacher was from Alney. It's part of North Philly. And she used to call this the mental fuckery card. And that's what it is. I mean, it's like our mind playing tricks on us and making us feel even worse about it. And this is about you basically getting out of this, oh my God, I have no energy left. I just feel beaten up by the world, to I'm going to decide what of the world gets an opportunity to get me to spar with it, and I'm not going to give my energy to any of these people that can't get me where I want to go. So I definitely see it as there's like a refinement for you personally before you jump into this new job, but I feel like this leaves you in a much better position. The fact that you're represented by the Queen of Swords and things like that. I think the answer is yes, and you may have to shift some things first to find yourself the right place, to find yourself a place that's frankly worthy of you, worthy of your energy. So I hope that helps. But yeah, none of those cards are about you being out in the cold, not by any means. So I hope that that helps, Lori. Okay, good stuff. I'm just checking around here, just checking down. I have thought of teaching Tarot Flower. I'm working on that, on thinking of how I would present it and how I would structure the course. So thank you for that. And for questions, you can always do things like the questions folks have already asked, like what's in my best interest, what's in my highest good, what can I leave behind, what things should I prioritize. I'm weird about the word should, because it's almost like, well, should according to whom? So I often will phrase questions like, is this in my highest good? Is this the best course of action? Or you can just say something really general, like, tell me about my career. Or the really direct questions we've got, like, what about this relationship? What about finding a job? So those are all totally appropriate. Oh, okay, good. That was really helpful, Lori. I'm so glad. Keep me posted, and all the best on finding a new job. You deserve it, but only good people deserve you. That's what came through the reading. So don't hesitate to not call people back so that you can call the right people back a little bit more. Okay, cool. Hey, Sister Sheba, lots of love. Okay, so where did I leave off? There we go. Okay, so Chris would like to know what the universe has in store for her in the future, and also how your dog Eva is doing. Okay, cool. See, so that's a good example of a question. Also, Fiat Luna has a perfect example of a question. What energy should I try to bring more of into my life as I go into 2024? Like, that's a great question too. Okay, so let's go for Chris's. What does the universe have in store for you in the near future? I like that. So for near future, I'm going to put like a time on it. I'm going to say in the next 4 to 6 months, like over the next 4 to 6 months. So that includes today and tomorrow in that. But yeah, sometimes if we give the tarot a really finite chunk of time, that can be really helpful. That's kind of the only way we really can do timelines. Time in the spirit realm is not the same as it is here. Our time is linear, like we experience it in a linear form, but it's not linear overall. So timelines can be really hard to read about. So next 4 to 6 months for Chris. Ooh, that's a really intriguing reading. So 3 really big cards, 2 of them major arcana and 1 of them a decision, like a crossroads. So let's do... First one that comes in is the Chariot, which is the second appearance it's making today. The Chariot has to do with, again, like decided movement, like you're deciding where you go and you're using all of your energy and power to go towards that. It's like a decision has been made. And hang on one sec. Sorry about that. Just had to cough. Yeah, so the Chariot. This is very much like using all your energy to kind of go with the flow and like take those things forward when it's time. Sorry about that, banging into my mic stand. Yeah, so this is about you moving forward and taking action when it feels primed and ready. The second card is the Hermit, which is very opposite the Chariot. The Hermit is everything you would think a hermit to be, like someone who withdraws from society. They may physically go away, like we see him kind of like out on the outskirts here. But really what this means is to go within yourself. The Hermit doesn't have like a big elaborate map or a GPS system. He has a lamp. And this lamp is very mystical. And this lamp is what guides him. So he is being led by, like the lamp is really meant to be an extension of his own light. So he's moving forward to the beat of his own drummer, not that of the society behind him. So this is about inner reflection. And then it ends with Two of Wands, which is making a big decision. It's almost like a fork in the road of life. You're deciding, do I go left? Do I go right? You have essentially the world in your hands, and it's like, well, where do I take this? So that's a decision. Divine timing is totally different than linear timing. It absolutely is. And both of those things are real, because here on Earth, linear timing is a thing. You can't be 2 weeks late for something and say, well, time isn't linear anyway. No, we can't do that here on Earth. But overall, time-wise, time is not linear. So yeah, you're right. That's more like divine timing and spiritual timing. So I would take this as, and I'm going to actually use my pendulum. So I feel very strongly that these are two different things. In one way, when you know you need to shift something, change something, go in a different direction, you do it, you go, and you go with your whole heart, your whole body, your whole everything. And then there's going to be things like, while you feel good and motivated to move forward, you're kind of reflecting inward. And ultimately this is you kind of at a crossroads, like, okay, I've made the decisions, I've made the moves, I've done some more deep digging and inner work. Now I'm at a crossroads, where do I want to go? So I definitely see this as move when you know it's time. Like make the actions when you know it's time to make the actions. And the Hermit is like, come inward into yourself when it feels good to do that and say, well, is this the way I want to go? Is that the way I'm happy? I would definitely say that this year is about a lot of sacred movement and sacred reflection. If you don't journal now, taking up journaling might be helpful. Another thing that might be helpful is writing down goals, or even here's the things I like and here's the things I don't like in my life. Here's the things I enjoy and the things I don't enjoy. And even just starting there. And that may help with the decisions and the movements that you are making. So yeah, it's definitely equal parts moving forward, looking within, and making decisions. So I hope that that helps. Yeah, Hermit definitely means solitude, to look inside of you. And I know everybody freaks out over Mercury retrograde. And I've mentioned this a few times on our usual live stream. They're not something to be afraid of. They've happened 3 to 4 times a year, every year that we all have been alive. It's okay. It's a difficult time to communicate. It's a difficult time for tech. It's a difficult time for travel. All of these things are true. And that's because we're not meant to be communicating outwardly. Mercury is the planet of communication, and when it's retrograde, from where we stand on Earth, it looks like it's going backwards in the sky. That's an opportunity to revisit. So rather than communicating outwardly, we're really meant to be communicating inwardly. It's really You can look at the calendar for the coming year and say, oh, here's the Mercury retrograde cycles. I want to pencil in some extra time for me to be extra reflective. That can be one way of like creating that space in your year. Oh, it's just lots of decisions. Lots of decisions. It's like you're going to be going within and then making decisions and moving forward. Going into yourself, being driven by this and motivated by what's internal, and then acting externally. And this is going to be all kinds of different decisions about life. Which way do I go? Like, do I want to stay here or move on? Do I want to make more friends, or do I want to like continue this friendship, or do I want to shift it in some way? This is really just decisions about next places in life. It's going to be more than one decision. But yeah, this is like kind of like a theme for the year. I hope that helps. It's not a bad decision. It's just basically the advice is when you know it's time to stand up and say, this is what I want and I'm going for it, go for it. But base this action on this reflection. That way you'll be in the best position possible to make those decisions in the moment. But the good news is these two cards tell you that you've got everything you need. You've got the momentum and you've got the ability to see internally, is this a good choice or is this a bad choice? Or is this a better choice versus the not as better choice? I hope that helps, but it's a really good thing. Yeah, this is a good thing. So spending that time to reflect into yourself, even if it's just writing down whatever random things happen through your mind. Sometimes we look back on that in a few weeks and a few months and it's like just total clarity. So even if it doesn't feel like it's important, write it down and look back on it at some point. Some people like to do that through art or through writing, through music, anything like that. So however you like to reflect on things, that could be really helpful. So yeah, all the best to you, Chris. It's a beautiful thing. It's making big decisions for yourself and acting on them out of a place of balance. Yeah, so that's a good thing. So let's see who was next. Oh, and Ava. Sometimes when I read on someone else or some animal else, sometimes I get an answer and sometimes I don't because they're not here to ask about themselves. But I can try. I mean, she's your dog, so I don't think there's anything wrong with asking. I don't get any bad cards here at all. One is the Hierophant, and this is about learning and teaching and sharing what you've learned. So I tend to take this as like you may learn things about animals, learn things about dogs, learn things about what's going on here. You may also gain wisdom from someone else. Like the vet might be able to explain something to you or teach you something that can be helpful. So this is about Ava. So that's a good thing. That's a good card in general. The next card I get is Four of Pentacles. And JS, you gotta go. You'll rewatch later. I will absolutely read on all of your questions so you can watch it later. Thank you for being here, JS, and all the best in 2024. So Chris, this card of Four of Pentacles, this is often the card of money and savings. What I get is that the care might come at an expense, like a money expense. Also, like there might be, who knows, a shift in food, a shift in something that has to happen, but basically like that there's a significant financial aspect here. And then I just see like hard at work. I feel like this is not so much, where did I put my pendulum? It's not like you working hard to get the debt covered. That's not what I'm getting. I'm getting more that like there might have to be something you do with the dog that is some work, like more regular walks or a medication regimen or something along those lines where it's going to be hard work to like help Eva at this point. Not bad. Not bad at all. Like very much like he's happy to do it. This is usually considered the apprentice card. So this is just hard at work. So I don't see anything bad there. Yeah, I'm seeing this is not, there are no bad cards here other than it might be pricey. That's not the worst thing. Lots of love to you, Chris, and to Eva. Keep us posted. Let me know how she's doing when you get her home. And I'll be live again at 6 too. Just not doing tarot, but doing Reiki. So we will definitely put Eva's health in there too. So glad to see you. Happy New Year to you and Eva. Awesome. You already have to pay. Oh my goodness. That's a lot of numbers. Oh, that's a lot. Keep me posted. I'm so sorry. Yeah, that definitely, that Four of Pentacles. Ouch. But you'll be okay, and Eva will too. Yikes. Safe travels when you go to pick her up too. Oh, and I missed a couple here. Okay. Oh, no, okay, I didn't. Okay, so Fiat Luna. Energy. What energy should I try to bring more of into my life as I go into 2024 for Fiat Luna? And is this the deck for this? No, we're going to switch decks. We're going to switch to the Tarot of Dreams by Ciro Marchetti. The energy of the Tarot of Dreams is all about dreaming the world in the future. It's less about rigid structures that are and more about creating opportunities anew out of new things. But it's very Rider-Waite-ish in terms of its imagery and its meaning. Okay, so for Fiat Luna, what energy to bring more of into life in 2024? What energy to bring into your life 2024? What energy to bring more of into your life in 2024? What energy to bring more of into your life in 2024? Well, this is kind of a good thing. Okay, so a lot of cups energy. They're all three of them are cups. And cups are all about emotions, emotional fulfillment. So the first card is the Knight of Cups. He's often called the false knight because he often doesn't have his sword drawn. You can see that he's not really on a horse, he's on a seahorse, and water is a symbol of emotions, especially in tarot. This is, I call him the false knight, or he is called the false knight largely because he's not looking to go out into the field and like stab anybody with his sword like so many knights are thought to do. He is more like, I want to like embrace poetry and like think about things and feel things and like woo the ladies and like that kind of thing. He's like the guy with a guitar at a college party. He's like, I'm just going to sit here and play the guitar and be brooding and wait for the ladies to come over. I'm going to talk about Pablo Neruda. It's very much like indulging in emotional fulfillment and emotional searching and deciding what kinds of things what kinds of avenues he wants to follow and pursue in terms of the heart, but very much he's more about the heart and connection than he is about being the knight and, you know, being out there in battle. A card here, the next card, all three of them are cups. So in short, emotions. Seven of Cups is often considered the illusion delusion card. This is like cups, full cups are usually a good thing to be seen in this. Oh, hey, future someone, it's been a while. Hope you're well. These cups are usually, like full cups are usually seen as a good omen in tarot. It's like fulfilled emotions, a full heart. Here, this is signifying like, it looks like tons of opportunities and it just feels great to have all these opportunities. But when you really look at those opportunities more closely, you start to realize that some of these aren't what they seem. It's like, who has a bowl full of orange bushels? Okay, now who has a bowl full of keys? What about a bowl full of snakes? What about that bowl full of gold, diamonds, jewelry? This is about kind of refinement, emotional refinement, rather than, I love all these things that can possibly happen. It's more like, okay, let me narrow things down. Okay, that's not really what it looks like. And do I really want that? And that kind of is nice to think about, but that's not really it. So this is about learning about what things are fulfilling and being open to new things, but also letting go of what doesn't serve and making sure that you're kind of clearing the cobwebs from your eyes to see clearly and feeling your heart forward too. The third card is the King of Cups. Kings are very like CEO energy. They take what works and they make it bigger. So King of Cups is someone who really wants to hold a good space where everyone is emotionally fulfilled and things are going off correctly. I take this to basically be, you want to kind of explore new things emotionally, see how they feel, get philosophical about it, get really in your head and in your heart about it, while at the same time also spending that time in logic to like go through those cups and say, well, I've entertained that, but maybe that's not for me. Ooh, maybe that's nicer than I thought. All of that kind of stuff. So discernment. So exploration, discernment, and then deciding what of those cups are really important, which you want to hold on to and which you want to grow bigger. So which energy, emotions, and particularly feeling them, exploring some new ones, refining the ones that are there and seeing if they're really serving you, letting go of those things that don't, and really putting your energy into the things that do. So this is like a process. So I hope that that helps, Fiat Luna, and lots of love to you on this new year. Awesome. Cora Carr, Happy New Year. Awesome. Good to see you. Okay, cool. So let's see who is next. Okay, so I hope that helps, Fiat Luna. Oh, it's so good to see you, Gelguire. Good to see you, Renee. Jane, you want to know about your current romantic partner. Let's take a peek there. So let's do, yeah, it wants to be this deck. Okay, so let's shuffle them up. So current romantic partner for Jane. Now I shuffled, but there's definitely a card that repeats here. Okay, so the cards I got for you. So what about your current romantic partner? So this is going to kind of depend on things you already know about your partner and your relationship together. The first card that comes up is Two of Wands, and this is a big decision. We already had a Two of Wands for someone else. That was the man kind of holding on to the world, and he could go left or right. This is like one staircase, and it's almost like, do you want the red pill or do you want the blue pill? Kind of like Matrix. It's like the path at this point splits, and you have to make a decision. The card that comes after that, the only major arcana that you get in these three cards is the Magician. So basically the Magician it's like sacred alchemy in a sense. Like he has all of the tools and he knows how to make them work. He knows how to make things happen. He knows how to use these tools. He can make things happen that he's really invested in. But the magic of the Magician too is that if he's out of balance, he can put a lot of energy into his own undoing in a sense. And King of Cups. And again, King of Cups is about taking what works and making it bigger in the best sense. So I feel like your current partner, your current relationship, I feel like there's a decision that needs to like be made. And ultimately the Magician is making a life you want to live and also them making the life that they want to live, and like, does it overlap? Like, do you both end up in the same doorway kind of thing? And King of Cups is very much about taking what works and making it bigger. So I would say looking at things from a little bit more pulled back, like big picture thinking, okay, well, what works, what's fulfilling, what maybe doesn't, what needs to shift kind of stuff. So yeah, I definitely feel like there could either be a shift within the relationship or maybe like a shift out. I hope that helps. These aren't bad cards. These are definitely, excuse me, decisions to be made and actions that take place. So let me know if there's anything else I can help you with. I hope that that's helpful. And lots of love to you, Jane. And let's see. Lori Curtis has a question about pregnancy for this year. So let's go with things that are possible, which is going to be the Tarot of Dreams. I'm not getting a clear yes or no on pregnancy for you. And here's what I get, Lori. So one is the Five of Cups. This is sort of like the way that this card usually shows up is don't cry over spilled milk, but we know that that's super insensitive given the context here. Like, no. This is generally like feeling a lot of pain and a lot of loss, but knowing that not all is lost, I would say. There's still like good energy here. So if this has been like inability or loss, this is like there's still opportunity, but I want to honor and respect all the feelings that come from that. Three of Coins. This is a card of hard at work. So this could be like actively looking at like your cycle and engaging with really working towards a pregnancy. This also could be because it's three. Sometimes it's three people working together. This could be you, your partner, and like a fertility specialist or whoever you trust to see in that capacity, but it's like getting things done. And then ultimately the Emperor. And the Emperor is kind of like Emperor, Empress. So the Empress is the card of like the Emperor and Empress are like, she is card 3, he is card 4. She is the card that usually looks a little soft in the belly because she could actually be pregnant. It's a card of gestation, holding space for things to grow, literally or figuratively. The Emperor, of course, is more like masculine structured, like this is what is, like I'm not growing something, I'm like leading. So the way I feel about this is there might be more energy as far as like putting your very clear intentions into making things work. Like there might have to be, Emperor can also be considered like medical intervention. So I feel like it could be that, but it's something like something is done with that like Emperor, like this is my kingdom, I do this. So this could be like a fertility specialist or like a fertility treatment that's done, because sometimes emperors can reflect, like hierophants and emperors can sometimes reflect doctors, but also some action being taken to say this is how it's going to happen, where the Empress energy is like more feminine, more passive. This is a more active role in making it happen. So that might be what it is. So I see it as there's opportunities, but it may not be like the natural route. So I hope that that helps. But the Emperor is certainly close to the Empress. It's not a bad thing. So I hope that that's helpful. So lots of love to you, Lori, and all the best. And remember, like tarot cards, like we're not marionette puppets. Tarot cards are just like if the future were to happen the way that it's going right now. But we all make up our minds. We all make decisions. So there's different ways things can go besides just what I'm showing you here. So let's see. Next is Gelguire. You don't have a specific question, but you would like to see the card that best represents you at the start of the new year. I love that. So let's check on for Gelguire. Cool. Okay, so let's do... Okay, cool. Let's find the tarot card to help the Gelguire reflect on this year. Just clearing the energy there. Nose is all itchy. The card that represents you is Judgment, which is not a bad card by any means. Judgment is about kind of coming into harmony and balance. So, okay, so Judgment and Justice, they sound like they could have a lot in common with each other, because usually judgments are made in our justice, in the justice part of our society. A justice of the peace would make a judgment. So they are a little bit different in the tarot. Justice is very, like, justice is blind. It's not about extenuating circumstances. It's just, this is the way it's right and it's wrong. Judgment is much more expansive than that. It takes into account all the different nuances. Judgment is almost like what we think of at the end of the Bible, the book of Revelation. Angel blows a trumpet and says, all right, pencils down. What you been doing? And everybody kind of gets that moment of judgment where it's like all of their actions, good and bad, are kind of looked at. And so this is a major arcana card of like what needs to shift, what needs to be let go of, what needs to be brought in. And there might be some like big like kaboom moments, but ultimately with judgment, those end up being a good thing. It's like, this isn't leading you down a good road. Let's remove that and give you more energy for what's good. But yeah, this is connection to spirit and angels, everything being in the light and like everything being looked at, like leaving no stone unturned kind of thing. So a lot of transformation, but transformation that happens in the light based on all the different factors that are part of your life. So I would say it's a card that represents you as one of like high level sorting and connection with your guides to make decisions. So I hope that that helps. I hope that that illuminates some things for you. So all the best to you, Gelguire. Joanna Sparkles, question is generally any insight into the new year for you, please? Yes, and it looks like it's going to be this deck as well. Yep, more Tarot of Dreams. Insights into the new year for Joanna. Ooh, that's a really pretty one. Okay, good stuff. Oh, okay, Lori. Lots of love to you. I hope that that's helpful. And keep us posted for sure. Okay, good. You're feeling this deck, Joanna. Awesome. Okay, cool. So the first card I get for you, Joanna, general insights into the new year for you. I get two really amazing cards. One is the Three of Cups. This is about celebration, coming together with friends, spending time together, and ultimately just like sharing company with really good people. This could be focusing on the people who bring the most love and joy and support to your life, the people who are closest to you. Yeah, this is celebrating, spending time with them, and having things to celebrate. So that's excellent. The next card is Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands, this is definitely a for real knight. He's got a sword and he's running into battle and he is fierce. His dragon is breathing fire. This is another one. Again, this can be a little bit of a fool's rush in. Both the Knight of Wands as well as the Knight of Swords can both be that way, but in a little different capacity. So this would be before you jump into big actions, like you might feel invited into big actions. That's a good thing to dive in, but at the same time, you might want to take a beat, think some things through before you act on them. So yes, use this momentum and this motivation, but being that it's wands and it's very quick moving, fast moving, fiery energy, it might do you well to like bite your tongue every now and then, or stop when it feels like you're ready to kind of jump in and reflect. But when it's time to dive in, use this energy for all it's worth. It's about massive movement forward and making things happen. Wands are action. And the card that you get here is beautiful. This is the star. So the star is about hope springing eternal. It often means that there's kind of like a light in the darkness too. So if we look at this card, the stars here in the background and things like that, you can see their light. You can also see the star. She's considered like a water maiden, and it's like usually she's in a lake, and it's not lit very well. She can't see very much. But she's got one water vessel that's full, and she's pouring it out, and another water vessel that's empty that she's filling up. And she's basically saying, like, things are shaking out right now. That's okay. This is all like part of the process. Keep hope alive. There's you're more of the way through than you realize. This is sort of like post the moon. So if you feel like you've been going through difficult times and it's almost like I feel like I'm stumbling through the dark and I hear foreboding, scary sounds. I hear like wolves in the distance and I feel very much like prey. This is her saying like, it's okay. You're going to see just enough to get to where you need to go. The star I often read as like the North Star. Like you can see enough. Like you can't see a lot because it's dark out. But you can see enough to kind of plot your course and know that there's not going to be a loss. There's abundance here. You might not be able to see everything in front of you, but this is a time for trust. So, but this is Hope Springs Eternal. This is a really good card. So I definitely want to read this as like lots of celebration. Keep your close people close to you. When you're making actions, make sure that you're basing those actions on what's important to you, and definitely use the motivation to your advantage rather than, sticking that wand in your own foot. And the star, there's not going to be just one opportunity. There's going to be a lot of opportunities. It's okay to like take a moment and just trust the universe if you're not sure whether or not you want to use that big energy. I hope that helps, but that's a really good reading. The star is a good card to have in your upcoming year. So I hope that helps. Awesome. But yeah, keep trusting yourself. Listen to that inner voice. Listen to that part of you that kind of knows, and you'll be able to come out ahead. Oh, I'll definitely get to that question for you too, Jen. Oh, you're welcome, Gelguire. Okay, but yeah, Joanna, let me know if that resonates with you. If you want to, and anyone too, if any of the cards that I read for you feel like that card really summed it up, that's something I really want to work forward on, or that's something I really want to be reminded of or to call in my life, go ahead on the Googleo machine and find an image of that card that you like, print it out, and put it somewhere prominent where you'll see it. You can put it in your altar somewhere. You can tape it to your bathroom mirror. You can make it the background image on your phone. Whatever it is, it's something you can reflect on and keep saying, like, okay, I want to bring this in. I want to work with this energy this year. And it'll be that gentle reminder. So the star is one I would definitely consider doing that with. Okay, cool. Okay, so we got that for Joanna. So for Dell, we want to read about health. Okay, good stuff. So for Dell, let's talk about health. Well, you have abundant health. It feels like it wants to be this deck too. So tell me about Dell's health for the coming year. Will there be abundant, good health? Will there be challenges? What's going on? What's best to know about this? Gotcha. Okay, so we've got some good cards for you too, Dell. So let's bring my screen back up. Okay. That'll drive me bonkers. Okay. So the first card that comes in, Queen of Swords. So you're asking if you're going to have abundant health, and I'm looking for good health, or like what you can do to make your health better, anything like that. Queen of Swords is about clarity, like intellectual clarity. So being able to use your mind. I feel like this is something you can look at yourself, and also this might be the medical professionals you're partnering with to help you. So this is someone who is keenly balancing their intuition, their emotional impressions, and their logic and mental acuity at best. At worst, this is not wanting to see the truth and kind of having a sharp tongue. I'm not getting that vibe, and I'm not getting that vibe with the other cards. So I feel like this is, the health needs like a strong looking at with a really clear mind, lots of analytic, lots of logic. So that's probably a not a mental provider, probably a health provider, but it also could be in your mind, like taking a look at your body and saying like, I have this other weird symptom. Is this related to the other things? It could be even that, but I feel like this is like, it's good energy. It's clarity. It's cutting through I have all these random things and I don't know if they're connected or not. This is more like, I see everything for what it is, and we can come to a conclusion, or we can see it for what it is. So that's good. That's clarity, knowing what you have to deal with. The next card I get is the Empress. So this is the card of holding space, turning into something larger, like growth and things like that. I often will read this in a health reading as like, take this time to like grow what's working for you. Take this time to sustain yourself, to nourish yourself, and to also, the Empress is about leaving behind what doesn't serve. So the Empress is very like autumn energy or fall energy. It's very like harvest all the crops and take all the things that are going to be nutritious and turn into something. And all the rest, usually like you burn the old fields and you have that ash serve as nutrients for the soil for the next round. So this is a time of nurturing good health and bringing good health forward, and also refining what good health is, letting some things go, bringing new things in. Oh yeah, absolutely. I will get everybody. Oh, this is the Tarot of Dreams by Ciro Marchetti. Yeah, he's done a couple of decks, so kind of take a peek at them and see which ones resonate with you. But I've worked, the Gilded Tarot is the first tarot that I worked with, even though I had been gifted like 20 some decks before I finally started reading them. But yeah, I love this deck. It's very like future dreamed possible kind of energy. The next thing I get is Two of Coins. Two of Coins is about making decisions. And it's very much like balance. So two of Coins or Two of Pentacles, this is usually seen as like financial and like resources. Like, okay, I've got one here, I've got one here. Like I'm making the best out of both worlds, but man, I don't have a third one to like rub them together. I'm trying to make the best I have with both things. So it's striving for balance. So I feel like through this year, you're going to be showing up in a day-to-day where it's like, okay, how do I show balance today? It's like, what things can I put in my diet that'll be healthier? What things can I let go of? Some of this might be budgeting, or even where you're showing up and putting your energy, making sure that you have enough energy to focus on your health rather than just everything else in the world. So this is definitely about making decisions and feeling like you're almost out of steam at times, but then making those decisions for the bigger future. So this is the short term. It feels a lot like you're kind of like chugging along. You're given the good fight. You're finding balance where it's difficult. But ultimately, the Queen of Swords is figuring things out, getting clarity. The Empress is about holding space where it will nurture in the future. So making decisions about how you behave and what you do now benefiting your health in the future. So I don't see bad health cards here, but I do see a lot of like every day it's like you're showing up and going like, okay, what can I do now kind of thing. So yeah, it's definitely look at it through the eyes of the Empress. What things do I want to feed? Like what things are helping me and what do I want to continue to put into my life? What things are not helping me that I want to like maybe take out? Like, I really like this snack, but it's not really helping me. What can I bring in that will be? And making those small everyday decisions will add up into a big Empress kind of thing. So I hope that that helps. But none of those were bad cards for health. That's a good positive thing. Screensaver on your tablet. Yeah, and this is the Tarot of Dreams by Ciro Marchetti, and that was the star. And I hope that that helps, Del. Let me know if you have another question, and it looks like you're trying to formulate one. Oh, yeah, this is for everybody, K-Boss. Everybody, Kanta. Everybody. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, everybody. Okay, cool. And Del, I'll keep looking out to see if you make a question or anything. Oh, Jennifer had a question. Oh, did I get there yet? No, I didn't. Okay. Okay, so we talked about health. Christina shared gratitudes. JS, what do you need to make space for in 2024? Okay. What do I need to make space for in 2024 for JS? So JS, making space. JS, what to make space for in 2024? 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 Okay. So first is the Four of Wands. Four of Wands is about celebration. This is like a great card to get. When we get the card, the Four of Wands, it's about putting the cornerstones up for our future. If the future were a building, you would put those like kind of like the imprint down first. This is also about walking into this well-lit, like divinely lit doorway. So this is about starting to build the life you want, your efforts showing up for in support of your larger dreams. So this is a good thing. This is a celebration. The next card is Seven of Coins. This is about taking inventory, taking stock, and seeing like, yes, financially, but also in terms of life and energy. This is basically like if you think of it, a farmer, and if this is his like orange orchard tree, he's taken a hard look at how many oranges did I grow? What are they worth? How many are going to sell? Was it worth my effort? Did I make money doing this? And do I want to do it the same way next year, or do I want to shift that? And so there's a lot of like inventory taking on life, not just in terms of financials, but every aspect of life. Like, do I feel fulfilled here? No. How do I make that? How do I shift it so that I will be feeling more fulfilled in the future? It's a lot of that kind of stuff. And then the King of Swords. So this is excellent for going into the new year, to making space for logic and looking through things. And this is, in some cases, it's not just listening to your heart, it's listening to your head and saying like, wow, I wish I had, let's use the example of more coins, more money. Okay, well, what do I need to do? Like, where am I spending? Is there anywhere I can cut? What am I, what am I earning? Is there something I can shift to earn more? What about passive revenue? What about savings or investing or any of those things? So this is like the logic guy. So this is using your logic to help you sort through the things that aren't serving and helping you really step into the celebration and building a life that's based on what you want. So this is a good thing. This is about going the way you want, walking through the open door that's full of light, cleaning house, so to speak, and having the logic to do that. But definitely this is like, remember to encourage your logic and thinking on this, and your logic and thinking and follow through. So I hope that that helps. So there we go. So that is for JS. What do you know about make space for in the coming year? Celebration, things that are important to you, letting go of what isn't, and like refining your life to be better for you. All of those beautiful things. So that's a great thing. And Dell mentioned, oh, thank you. You've never done tarot before? You think it's amazing? Oh, awesome. I'm so glad you're here. I'm honored I could be your first tarot reader. Ooh, Kanta, that's a great question. And I would love it if the answer is yes, but it's really about what's best for you. Okay, cool. So I'm so glad. So let's go back to... Okay, Jane Bilton. Health for the upcoming year. So health for the upcoming year, I feel like we're going into another deck. We're going into the fountain. Okay. So Jane's health this year. 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 Nothing bad. I don't get anything bad, Jane. What I'm getting for your health is, first of all, it's 3 of coins. And this is very much the same card that had initially come up as the second card in Dell's reading about health. So I feel like this is usually people working together. This is considered like the collaboration card. And usually it's like 1 professional, 2 professionals, 3 professionals. When they meet together, they can create something that only 3 professionals can create together. And so it's like, I feel like this is you working with other practitioners. So maybe this is a doctor, maybe one's a physical therapist, maybe one's whoever these specialists are. I feel like it's not just you alone. So you might be working with like, and I'm just totally plucking these out of the sky, whether it's like nutrition, physical therapy, yoga, what have you. There's going to be a bunch of people that you're going to like be collaborating with to help with improved health. But the good news is that the professionals are there. Like there's good people you can trust and collaborate with. The next card I get is 4 of Swords. Four of Swords is considered like the rest and meditation card. So Four of Swords, it's like swords are usually logic and like moving forward with clarity. And Four of Swords is usually someone resting, laying down. With the Four Swords, they're not aiming at the person. Like they're not causing harm by any means, but he's not thinking, he's not doing, he's resting. So I feel like there might be a time of rest. Like you might like go through a time where you're resting and you're letting your body do things that they need to do and heal up from something. Or what is even more likely is prioritizing rest in your day and in your life. Also, this could be mental rest or physical rest or both. So this is definitely like reflecting inward, taking that time to rest, taking that time to heal before you go back out into battle, being life. And then ends with King of Coins. King of Coins, he's not just all about the money. He is about, think about resources. So coins are literal coin and money, but they're also resources, the things we need in life to survive and also thrive. This is about making stability and making what's working for you to feel stable financially and in all ways in your life, and basically expanding that a little to help support further growth and further growth and further growth. So I feel like there's going to be slow but steady progress in financial matters, even for the future, planning for your needs being met. Lots of rest, lots of reflecting inward and downtime. You may be taking downtime, like maybe you'll, not like a bad surgery or a dangerous surgery, but I feel like this might be a downtime, or it might be just making time regularly, making more time for your rest, and also working with professionals and other service providers that know and can help illuminate the path forward. So I think it's a very fruitful year for you. It's not like this, none of these are bad. None of these are bad. None of them are showing you like convalesced. They're showing you like at worst resting. So I feel like health is good. You're going to find some good people to partner with this year. And you're going to like shift things to be in your favor more for the next years. So that's good. So I hope that helps, Jane. And let's see. Christina Noriega, any significant changes or opportunities coming your way? That's a great question. Cool. Significant changes or opportunities coming your way. And it wants to go back to Tarot of Dreams by Ciro Marchetti. And also, Jane, I did do the reading with the Fountain Tarot. The Fountain Tarot is usually a very harsh, tell it like it is kind of card. It does not candy coat or sugarcoat anything. So for it to give you that reading, that sounds like really good positive progress, even though it's not like breaking any land speed records. It's very beneficial. So let's see for Christina. Changes and opportunities coming your way. I feel like this is going to take us into another question, so I'm going to go through these a little quickly. Five of Wands is about spending a lot of energy not getting anywhere. It's like a lot of adversarial energy, like I want this, but I want that, but I want that. And so everyone's beating each other with sticks and nobody's winning. And I get this sense of you're at a point now, or you're coming close to a point where you're like, this is the Nine of Wands. This was the guy that we had in the Steampunk Tarot where he's like looking forward and he's like, are we almost there yet? Like, this is basically you saying like, I just don't want to put my energy into this anymore. I don't want to put my energy into this big fight. I want to be where I want to go. And then it leads into the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man is about things not necessarily happening when you initially want them to, but it's about divine timing. And that it's sort of like a not yet kind of wait card. The Hanged Man sounds like someone being hung. It's not at all. He's hanging by his feet, and that's basically symbolic of he can't move forward yet, but he has this opportunity to look at things from a new perspective. So there's something to be learned before forward momentum is really possible or optimal. And so I'm going to say, like, is there any more information on that as far as like changes in opportunity? I definitely see this opportunity as like you just get frustrated with something that's not been working for a while and you're like, how else can I look at these things? And you choose to look at them from a different perspective. Like you take that time to do that, and that's a good thing. I'm somebody who likes to do what I want to do when I want to do it, so the Hanged Man is always deeply uncomfortable for me, but it's always helpful in the long run. So let's get a little bit more guidance as far as like what that's about, how best to deal with it. Okay. Ooh, that's good. Okay, so yeah, these two cards come up. One is the Star, so this is excellent. This is, you might not be able to see everything. It's dark out, but you'll be able to see the stars. And remember, the stars were how people stars were the first GPS. So this is definitely, if it was enough to guide sailors out in the ocean, if it was enough to guide people moving through for trade or travel in ancient times, it's enough for us. This is basically saying like, don't worry, it's okay. Things are going to take their time, but that time is going to be invested. All the time that you spend reflecting and looking at things from a different perspective is invested, and you'll get a good return on that investment. And then it leads us into yet another major arcana card, and it's the World, which is amazing. The World is basically like, okay, this is where I wanted to be, but I didn't even know it existed until right now. So this is all your hard work, everything in balance. This is the Fool in the middle. The Fool is the beginning of the journey. And this is like when you reach the end of the journey and there's a big celebration, you're on top of the world. So I feel like there's definitely opportunities to kind of withdraw your energy, focus, reflect on you, what you want to have happen, and also what is happening. Whether or not it's what we want, but just noticing, seeing different things than we've noticed before. Know that when it's time and when it's right, you'll know exactly where to go, and there will be plenty of water, which means like plenty of emotional support and plenty of the things that you need to survive and thrive. And you ultimately get to where you wanted to go, but even better. So that's excellent. So when things feel like you're pushing and they just won't move forward, use that opportunity to like step back, reflect, take a different perspective on things, and then you'll know when to move forward. So that's a beautiful reading. Definitely keep me posted, Christina, in the ways that shows up for you in the coming year. That's awesome. Awesome. So Renee, we've been working on a move. Happened for a couple of years. Can you see possibility moving this year, or even some excellent traction to help me remaining to be positive? Thank you, Danielle and Kitties. Aw, nice. Yeah, let's look at that. So moving, yeah, and remaining positive. So definitely feels like it wants to be Tarot of Dreams. So Renee's move, and Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and all those beautiful things to all of you. Okay, just clearing the energy there. Definitely, like, we will always see the same cards showing up, even though it's in different decks and for different people with different questions, because it's just the vibes of the year. And so there's a couple of familiar cards here. One is, so this is about your move again. So this is Five of Cups. So definitely, like, I know what the real estate market is right now. It's kind of a nightmare. I get it. So this is about feeling like, you know, are we just like, we keep putting our energy out there, putting our hopes out there, putting our emotional energy out there. And it just feels like you've missed out on so many things. But at the same time, this is Spirit saying, not all is lost. Like, there's some things that have not gone your way, but not all is lost. There's definitely still 2 cups here that are full. But right now it's kind of hard to see them because you're looking at all of these lost opportunities or situations that didn't work or market influences, things like that. Followed by the Chariot. Lots of Chariot this year. So Chariot is about taking, first of all, in the Tarot of Dreams, this is like a big time clock tower. This is like, think of like a big cuckoo clock. It just keeps on running. You wind it up and it keeps going. It keeps time. Not like a digital clock where it remembers time. It keeps time on a mechanical way. This is moving forward with momentum, like when it's time. Taking your wants and desires and like emotional things and your logic and all of those things together, putting them in the Chariot and boom, go forward. So this is a minor arcana, the crying over the loss. Major arcana is big movement forward. So I would definitely say that this portends a move, but I feel like it'll move really quickly when it's time and you'll kind of know. And the other card there is Ace of Swords. And it showed up upside down. Usually I don't get transverse meanings, but when I do, they come through. Ace of Swords, aces are all about a burst of new energy. It's like a limited window of all this incredible energy. And depending on what suit, that's the type of energy. Swords are logic. So this is basically like, right now, you might not be able to see the logical way forward because it's like kind of emotionally painful, like all the energy you've put into this. But what this is saying is when you get to a point where you can have this clarity, run with it. Absolutely run with it. When you're like, oh, I found a way that this can work. It's all about like quick movement when it's absolutely timed. And you'll kind of know and you'll run with it. So this is really beautiful. But yeah, it's definitely saying like emotionally you're kind of worn out. And there's a lot at stake when you're looking at like moving, especially if it's a big move. But yeah, you're like, okay, when it moves, it's time. It's like how I moved to Philly. I kept getting things and opportunities and maybe now, no, not the perfect time, not the perfect time, not the perfect time. And then it just like, boom, it all happened. And within 2.5 weeks, or well, technically 3 weeks, I had the job, gave the notice at my job, found an apartment, moved, and started the job in another city. So like it happened, boom, 1, 2, 3 after 2 years of false starts. So it's that kind of energy. So I feel like, yes, that'll happen and it'll all come together right when it's meant to. So all the best for you, Renee. Yeah, definitely with remaining positive, I can see like it's okay. And it's okay to say that emotionally, it's just kind of thrown you for a loop. There's a lot that you put into opening up when you're thinking about moving into a place or making a big move. So all the best to you, Renee. Sister Sheba, will I achieve my educational and financial goals this year? Grateful for my health and hopeful for my extended family dynamic will improve. Oh, I hope so too. Educational and financial goals for Sister Sheba. Educational and financial goals for Sister Sheba. You're welcome, Renee. Okay, good stuff. Yay. Yeah, and if anybody has to, I know I'm going down a long list and I'm giving lots of details. If you have to come back and watch the video later, it's totally okay. I'm not judging. Totally fine. Yeah, let's see. Okay, so back to the question. Sorry, just reading through everyone's questions. And educational and financial goals for Sister Shiva. Educational and financial goals for Sister Shiva. Educational and financial goals for Sister Shiva. And is this the card back? Yes. So Page of Swords, this is about, I feel like there might be a shift in goals. Yeah, your goals may shift, and not in a bad way. Okay, so here we are, the Page of Swords. Pages are like very new energy. And often, especially in swords, this is almost like a messenger. You may come into new information that gives you a new way to show up and act. It may cause you to think really deeply and have to go into some inner reflection about it. But this is a new opportunity, a new way about things, a new perspective, a new illumination on the same things. The major arcana card is the Hermit. So I feel like there's some logical things that are presented to you as like, hey, there's this other way this could be done, or there's this other path you can take. And then it's like, okay, let me take that information and reflect on it. And this is where we follow the Hermit. The Hermit is outside of society. He's led by that light, not anybody else's light, not anybody else's guideposts or map, but this is very much his way forward, and it comes from inner reflection. So there'll be new opportunities, new ways forward. You'll need to see if they fit with what is your overall goals, and if those goals can shift or not, what's important about them and what's not. There's going to be refinement there. And then ultimately, the Four of Cups, this is apathy, lack of fulfillment. So I feel like a lot of times with this card, when it comes up at the end, is like the reflection helps with, like, if you have 10 goals, maybe you refine those, and like maybe there's fewer goals, or maybe there's more goals, but you're taking your energy and placing them different places and saying, what's most important, what's least important? Like, I've been working towards this. Is it really serving me? Maybe I can shift it a little bit. Or this feels very empty. It feels like I'm consistently putting energy and emotions into this, and it's not getting me where I want to go. So I definitely feel like this is refinement. This is not bad by any means. It's not a no. It's more like a, before you keep going, take a tighter look and reflect and decide how you want to go forward based on new information that comes forward. Like, there might be newer opportunities, so you just get a chance to decide which ones you really want to follow and which ones you don't. So that's a good thing. That's like, Yeah, financial goals and education goals, there might just be a better way or a different way to go about it. And I hope that helps. So all the best to you, Sister Sheba. Keep us posted. Okay, cool. Jenny has a question. What will become of Rebecca Ismail Siudi? I don't know who that is. And what does Spirit want you to know? Okay, so back up to Jenny. Okay, cool. Usually I won't do a reading on like another person who's not here. I'll kind of look at your connection there, but something tells me it's okay. Don't know why. Okay, and it wants to be this deck. I'm not really getting a clear answer on that one. Yeah, the world, the Four of... Yeah, I'm not getting an answer on that about Rebecca. What does Spirit want you to know? I will throw some cards on that. Yeah, sometimes when I read about a person who's not present, I just get like a nonsense kind of... I get like a feeling of nope. Which is fine. Totally fine. Sometimes we're just not meant to like look down that path, or it's meant for someone else. Okay. And I'll keep going till I get all the questions that are in there as of right now. So what do your guides want you to know? One is King of Cups. So open up to expanding your emotional breadth and making more room and time in your life for emotional fulfillment. 10 of Coins is really, it's usually seen as like a happy wife, happy life card with emotional fulfillment and stability. Usually the picture is love, like we have everything we need to meet our needs and not stress. So this is like a fulfillment in terms of resources. And I get giving and receiving help. Giving and receiving help is, you see the justice scales, and it's like, usually it's like I said with justice versus judgment earlier. Justice is like, nope, it's not about any other factors but how it weighs on the scales. Justice is blind. Then there's judgment, which is like, well, let's look at all the totality of everything. Like, kind of like biblical. 6 of Coins is about, yeah, we know that, you know, keeping it balanced is like a thing, but, you know, sometimes we have, the thing about balance is the way I usually explain it to my Reiki students. The flow of energy that's optimal is what we see in the yin and yang symbol. It denotes movement. It's supposed to be 2 fish swirling around each other. And a black and white cookie is something we have here. I know you're in Canada. Black and white cookie is a big round cookie with a line down the middle. Half of it's white, half of it's black. It's not moving anywhere. So ideally, in terms of energy, sometimes we're putting out a little more. Sometimes we're taking in a little more. And this is basically saying sometimes we have to be the one to receive a little bit more. And sometimes we're the one giving a little bit more, because that's how we maintain balance. So I'm taking this as like there might be anything from an inheritance to money given to you to help you achieve balance, or even like collaborating with other people to bring about financial abundance. But yeah, something about like, don't hesitate to say yes, please, if abundance comes to you, and don't hesitate to like show your support to others when needed. So that's what your guides are telling you, is make more time for emotional freedom in your life, and time to celebrate emotions and good, happy things that make you feel good, and use what comes your way in the form of any kind of gift to plan for the future or think of something better in the future. So I hope that that helps. And that was under what the spirit want you to know. Flower, will your health improved? And then Dell wants to know if you'll sell the house this year. Gotcha. Okay, so let's see for flower. Will your health improve? Flower, will your health improve? Feel like that settles. Okay, let's see. Let's try the Fountain Tarot. Flower's health, will it improve? Flower's health, will it improve? That makes more sense. So again, we have a health question, and again, we get 3 of coins. This is working with other people, bringing other people in to help you with that. So this could be specialists, this could be, holistic, metaphysical. It's the people that you bring in and the skill sets that you bring in to work towards your goals in terms of health in this case. The next card you get is the 6 of coins. We just saw the 6 of coins in the last deck, and that was the giving and receiving help. And that's exactly what this kind of is. 6 of coins is about putting out money, finances, things like that, and then receiving back in what helps. I definitely see this as like receiving help from other people, but also showing up in ways for other people. I feel like there's folks that you're going to be balancing with in terms of your health overall. It's a good card of like resource balance. And then the last card is strength. Strength is very transformative, and it's not just about physical strength, like not by any means. Strength is about strength within, going within and facing what's really like shadow healing. Basically facing the parts of ourselves that most need to be refined or supported or dealt with in some way that's really challenging emotionally and logically to like deal with. So this is about definitely going deep and doing that deeper personal work, but also that you will be supported in that. There'll be people that you can collaborate with to glean insight, glean wisdom, gain knowledge and help. So this could be anything from like the examples I gave earlier. This could be like literal doctors. This could be physical therapists. This could be any number of professionals that can kind of help, even like potentially like a support group or something like that too, depending on the nature of the issues. But there's more than one person, and collaborating and moving forward together. Six of Coins, giving and receiving help. That could easily be something like a support group or a workout group or something along those lines. Or even like, hey, we don't usually take this insurance, but we're going to make an exception for you, and there's something around balance in the finances. And then Strength is like deep internal reflection. So I would say, will your health improve? I'm not seeing anything but healthy stuff going forward. I think it's going to be a lot of work, but it's going to pay dividends, and you're going to have the support you need to help improve your health. So that's all really good. Like, there's work you can do, and you're going to have the support to get it, resource wise, and in terms of like the people with the knowledge showing up. So I hope that helps. So I see it as a good omen. Like, I would be happy with those cards if it were my health. Like, yeah, I got to do some work to get through it, but it'll be better on the other side. That's an improvement. Dell, will you sell the house this year? And we'll use the Fountain Tarot. Doesn't quite make sense. Is it this deck that we're using? Yeah. I'm going to come back to that question. It doesn't seem to be like answering it. So I'm going to come back to that. Okay. I will come back to that, Dell. Hey, Rue. I hope you're doing well. Oh, thank you, Flower. Welcome in, Shaylee. Awesome. I'm getting to everybody's questions, I promise. Okay, so let's see. So the next, I think, was Future Someone. Yes. So Future Someone, if you're still here, where should I focus my energy that will help me achieve my goals quicker? And does it want to be this deck? No. It's going to be Tarot of Dreams. Okay, so for Future Someone, where should you focus energy quicker that will help you achieve your goals? Energy quicker to help achieve goals. Energy quicker to help achieve goals. Okay. I see there being a lot to reflect on. So the first one we get is Judgment. So this is taking like a big overview of your life, where you're at, where you're going, where you want to go. Are you on course for that? This is definitely a year of examining all of those things. We get Six of Coins again, and this is giving and receiving help. So this might be like work, reflection inward, but also like sharing. Like there might be some creative ways of I'll put some money here and I'll take some money there, or I'll give help here and I'll receive help there. I see it as like really collaborative, and it's almost like you're taking imbalances and making them balanced. And then the other thing is really gives us the most clarity. It's the Four of Swords. Four of Swords is the knight resting. Like you see him sleeping here with those swords. Those swords are really protecting him, but they're not ones he's using. This is about taking your logic, which is what the swords represents, and putting it down and just rest and just be and just experience and see how it feels. So the answer I get to your question is, where should you focus your energy that'll help you achieve your goals quicker? I don't think that there's a way to make this happen quicker other than like, where can you focus your energy on yourself and reflecting inward and taking care? But also this larger sorting. I think this might be a theme for the year of looking at things in a really refined way and finding balance, giving things that you no longer need or don't serve, and attracting and taking in things that do. So I hope that helps. But yeah, it's, in short, the answer is, where can you place your energy? On you, on reflecting inward. Yeah, and taking rest. So I hope that helps. Korakar, what should I expect financially and spiritually this year? And it also wants to be this deck. Financially and spiritually for Korakar. Financial and spiritual for Korakar. Financially and spiritually for Korakar. Financially and spiritually for Korakar. Okay, cool. So financially, I see like, financially, I see Four of Coins. That's about holding on to the resources that you have now. It's, this would be like a wait to spend money, like be a little bit miserly, not completely, don't completely shut it down, but be very discriminating where you put your financial energy. Then there is like, I feel like there ends up at some point being like a roadblock, or what feels like a roadblock. It's not like someone else blocking you. You get to a point where you feel like, okay, like this way of doing things or showing up isn't helping me. I feel overwhelmed. I feel like I just can't keep going the same way forward. But this is a minor arcana card of that. This means that you see it as like, okay, I feel like I just can't go on the way I've been going. And that leads to a choice. Like you end up making a big choice. So it's like, I feel like given that this is related to finance, it's like, I've been doing it this way. It feels like I still aren't making any headway in terms of like the numbers in my savings account, and I'm not liking this. And then it's like, wow, okay, how am I using my energy? It feels like I'm putting out all this energy and not getting back what I put in. Some changes have to be made, and I'm going to make some big decisions. And then I drew 2 more cards just to see if there was some more elaboration on that. One was a Ace of Cups, which is great. This is like being supported emotionally, having an emotional opportunity and something that feels good in your heart, and definitely take that opportunity when it comes. And the other card is the 9 of Swords, which is basically any feelings of fear are just fear. It's not like you should be afraid of these swords. She's in a dream right now. Like, she is asleep. She's in a dream. These swords are of the mind. She's not stuck. She's not going to get, visited by 9 people, each carrying a sword. It's like the stress and the worry of one's own mind. So know that the worry is kind of coming from within the house, and it's not like an external force that's going to cause any issues. It's more like you kind of have to go through your fears to find the way forward and decide how to move forward, to drop all the hard work that's not paying off and go in a different direction. So I see this as an opportunity to let go of what's not serving and hone what direction you want and go into that. So I hope that helps. And Jennifer Vatsa, if there's time, you'll take a reading on relationships and business growth. Okay, cool. So Jen, relationships and business growth. Relationships and business growth. This is excellent, Jen. This is excellent. So the first card we get is the 9 of Cups. This is a wish card. Make a wish. This is great. This is having plenty to share. Also having people around you that support you, feeling emotionally fulfilled. The next card is the Magician. So I feel like this kind of speaks for itself. It's using all of the things at your disposal to make things happen. This can definitely be about the business as well. This is about using everything you have in your arsenal of things to make what you want to have happen, especially in the business. Ace of Swords. So this is like big idea, mental clarity, like, oh, hey, here's a way forward. And embracing that when the opportunity comes. So I feel like that's a really good big opportunity coming for expansion. And I drew 2 more cards just for a little bit more clarity on both. One is the Empress. So I love the Magician and the Empress together. So this is making things happen and then allowing them to grow and flourish. This is relationships too. This is putting in the energy and holding that space and allowing it to naturally grow and mature. So that's your business as well as relationships. The Empress is often seen as like being pseudo pregnant. And so that can be literal, like gestation of a baby, but also business, gestation of a relationship, gestation of your new life, gestation of all of those things. So it's about kind of the harvest. You kind of get the harvest sense in there. So this is making it happen, and this is allowing it to thrive and flourish and helping it to grow along the way, like pruning the weeds, bringing the water, bringing the fertilizer, like tending. And then this is 3 of Cups. This is celebration. This is happiness. This is emotional fulfillment. I don't think relationships are going to be a problem with these 2 cards. I love both of them for that. So I think things are going to happen in their own time, and some things are going to be like, hey, here's an opportunity to like do something, and you will. And definitely like the Magician and the Empress energy. This is going to be a really awesome year for you, and I can't wait to see all the good things. Like that's great. That's incredible. So yay. Yeah, I just see you like pulling out all the stops, finding new ways to make things grow. Okay, cool. So I hope that helps. Yeah, lots of growth, lots of success, and no shortage of emotional fulfillment and support. So Jennifer says, awesome. I think that came up in a reading a friend did last night, as did the Magician. I'm a fan of second opinion tarot readings. Yeah, especially when you see the same things come up, for sure. You think the Empress came up too last night? Yeah, they feel very related. I was spot on for last year's tarot. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. I really keep me posted and let me know how this goes, but it feels very good. Awesome. Yay, all the best. All the best. Let's see. Oh, Jen, thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. So if anyone wants to do a super sticker, I don't have the big thing that gives you a big bell and a thank you, but I will say thank you. And there's also like links in the description too, but don't feel like you have to. But thank you, Jen. I appreciate that. Lots of abundance to your new year too. Let's see. Kanta. So we're down to Kantas. Okay, so Kanta, if you're in the room, great. If not, you'll be able to see it later. Best to buy a property in the Philly suburb now or wait a couple of years. And you want to have places to hang your hat in both Virginia and Pennsylvania. For family, friendship, business, and to be closer to your family's Quaker meeting. Cool, makes sense. So is now a good time to buy in the Philly suburbs or wait for Kanta? Let's see which deck wants to come out. It's going to be this deck. Okay, so for Kanta, is this year the time to buy the house in the suburbs of Philly? Is this year the year to buy the house in the suburbs of Philly? Is this year the year to buy the house in the suburbs of Philadelphia? Okay. So this is how I want to read this. So for Kanta, do you buy the home in the Philly suburbs this year? The first card I get is a Wheel of Fortune, and that's a big, like, huge, big shift in the world around you. So I feel like there's going to be a massive change. Probably things that you can't really portend or understand right now, like factors that aren't relevant in this moment will become relevant, and factors that are relevant in this moment may become irrelevant. But big change. There's going to be big change, probably like in terms of like markets and things like that too, that have a big impact on you, but not just you. might be a thing. Good news is the star. It's like, this is all going to work out for the best. It's a matter of timing. It's a matter of trust. It's a matter of knowing, like, you're being reassured. Like, star is one of the cards that you can make a wish on. It's definitely seen as like your guides are watching out for you. And again, it's like, even in the pitch black darkness, the stars are what can guide you forward. And they have since we were ancients. We could follow the stars to guide us home. And so it's basically your guide saying, like, there's abundance, there's light, even where you can't see it. And where you can see it, there's guidance. You'll see the guidance when you need to. Even if it's not there all the time, there'll be times where you can see the guidance and sense it. And I also get this 5 of Swords. And I don't get it as you doing the bad thing. I get it as like, this is usually like a tainted victory. This is usually like sketchiness, sliminess, somebody doing dirty. And I wouldn't be surprised if this is like a specific home, but I also would be I wouldn't be surprised if this pertains to a bigger issue with like the housing market, or like something's been propped up in a way that's not great. And it's almost like you have to wait for something bigger to shift in order for the timing to be right for you. So I don't know if it's going to be this year or later in the year or when it will be, but the timing is important. And your guides are basically going to help steer the timing. So if it ends up not being this year, it's not for the worst. It's because there's factors that are going to shift. And you're going to be in a good place for it. But your guides are trying to keep you away from getting tied into something that's not in your highest good. And I got 2 more cards to give a little more clarity on it. And it's still a little murky, to be honest. But they're good cards. One is a celebration, which is great. That's celebrating with your friends and family, which is what you want. That's part of what you want in this package. And the Queen of Cups. This is you basically saying, I need to make time and space for what's important and really matters in matters of the heart, emotionality, and the people I love and care about. So keep focusing on the why you want to be here and what's here for you and what that's about. And I think that the way forward will come through almost like as if your guides were handing you the right set of keys at the right time. But I have a feeling that they're trying to keep you out of a system or a time in history that could be almost predatory to you. But yeah, like there's something afoot that's going to have to shift before it's in your best interest. But it's not a bad thing. It'll end up being like the timing will be more divine. I hope that helps. So I think it might be waiting. But again, I'm just a tarot reader. Like, keep your eyes open and see what works for you too. And everything I do is for entertainment purposes because, you know, I hope this sheds some light, gives some perspective, but I make my decisions based on more than just my tarot cards, and I hope you do too. So lots of love to you, Kanta. Okay, good stuff. Yeah, don't forget to do your first of the month cinnamon home blessing from Cora Carr. Absolutely. Take some, I usually like clean my door and then like brush some cinnamon on it or blow cinnamon into my doorway. That helps. I am not just a tarot reader. Well, when it comes to the information I'm giving you, take it as just a tarot reader. Things can change. It's land and you will build. Yeah, I think there might be something sus, either with the property or even more so with like the structure in which the property will change hands, which might be more largely like the real estate market. Yeah. But your guides are there. Like the star is a very powerful card that's come up for a lot of people today. I don't usually get that card very frequently. And it's very much like your guides are here. They're not going to let you make a misstep. Just trust. Which is super awesome reassurance. Okay. And let's see. Yeah, Flower, sometimes tarot books can be almost overwhelming when you're first starting. I started with oracle cards and then moved into tarot cards because I had to trust my intuition first before I got into everyone else's meanings. But everyone's a little bit different. Shaylee, if you're still here, does my love life, what does your love life look for the next few months? What does your love life look for the next few months for Shaylee? What does your love life look like for the next few months? Well, this is pretty cool. Okay. What does your love life look like for the next few months? Ace of Cups. Lots of opportunity, lots of fulfillment, this is beautiful. Ace is a burst of energy and an opportunity of the heart, of the emotional center. So that's great. Lots of new energy, new opportunities. But then it's also going to be about, I feel like there's like a lot of opportunity, a lot of like, ooh, everybody seems really awesome. Okay. Then you get these two cards and it's like, okay, take the opportunities to meet all these people and to take in all of this good thing. But then there's going to come a time where you need to like refine it a bit. This is about, so they're both sevens, and sevens are about, okay, refining, like letting go of what doesn't serve and bringing what does serve up to the next level. What are you going to focus on? So this is, you're going to kind of look through it and say like, well, these all look like great opportunities, but let me look a little closer. Let's look a little deeper and see, how is this going to help me? Is this really going to help me? Is this, like this behavior, this attitude, this, all the different things about this person or these people, looking through and really seeing, how does it serve you? How does it not? Because the other aspect is emotionally, you're in this like, woohoo, here's this new opportunities. This feels great. Awesome. There's all these opportunities. But like we saw earlier with this Seven of Cups is about illusion and delusion. It's basically saying that not everything is as it seems. So take a close look at those cups and see which are real and which are just appear real and which are better than they might appear. It takes a closer look. And this is basically you doing that. Taking time to say, so take your time at first to just jump in and experience, but then like, okay, now I've got to really look closer and not just give in to this flight of fancy and like, oh, this feels perfect. Nothing could ever be wrong. Like, take a closer look when it feels like it's time. So I hope that helps, but you have choices to be made. So that's great. That's really awesome. And the burst of Ace of Cups is like a lot of energy and potential for romance and fulfillment. So that's awesome. Glad you are here. Rue, I am able to retire next year, but I'm not sure. Would this be a smart move for me moving forward? That's a really good one. Oh, you're welcome, Shaylee. I'm so glad that helps. But yeah, the good news is you've got lots of opportunities, so be discriminating. Pick what's best for you for sure. Okay, good stuff. Let's do for Rue, and then we'll do some reading for ABC and Lori, and then that's going to be our stream. I will be back at 6, not for tarot, but for Reiki and crystals. We put together a beautiful crystal grid to everyone's request, and then I send you Reiki. So you're always welcome to that. I do that live stream 5 times a week. Every week, same times, same days. Today is a bonus stream, Monday at 6, just because it's a beautiful holiday and why not get some extra good energy going. So I'll be here tonight at 6, tomorrow, Tuesday at 8, Wednesday at 4, Friday at 4 and 8, and all of those times are East Coast US times, or EST. So, Rue, with retiring this year or not so much? Yeah, smart move to retire this year, or, next year or not. Gotcha. And is this for this deck? Yeah, so, all right, Rue, let's see what we get for you. Retiring next year, is it in your best interest, highest good? Is it in Rue's highest good to retire this year? Is it in Rue's highest good to retire this year? Or next year, rather. In Rue's best interest to retire next year? Rue's best interest to retire next year. Is it in Rue's best interest to retire next year? Okay, so here's what I get for you, Rue. The first card that comes up is the Page of Cups. This is like new energy and even possibly new messages or new news that comes in and says like, hey, here's this emotional matter that's going to be a factor. So this could be like, well, what do I want in my heart? And you kind of get some like, hey, I really would like to do this or be able to show up in life in this way. And that is ultimately a factor in whether you continue forward with this or retire or semi-retire or whatever choices you make. I also get the sense of like physically, there's like a sense of physical exhaustion and burden. And that's what 10 of Wands means. It's like there's a way in which you can't continue going forward. It's just too hard. So something definitely shifts. And then also Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords is a short-term big opportunity that makes more sense logically. So I wouldn't be surprised if you get some like, here's a thing I didn't think of, and this feels really aligned with my heart, and man, I feel really physically tired, and like my energy is a little bit like something has to shift. And then you get this opportunity where logically there could be even an in-between. It could be, I feel like the decision is going to make itself essentially, but also it might not be a bad thing, like just where you feel burdened and like, I can't get up anymore, but more like that sense of feeling like there's too much on you might be helping make the decision, but ultimately the decision gets made in a very balanced way, a very logical way. I want to kind of put 2 more cards down on that, and I feel like, yeah. So the next card I get is the Chariot. You'll know when to move on, and it will be on your terms, and you'll be deciding it. And the other card I get here is, and I get this right up, it's giving and receiving help in terms of finances and resources. There might even be a slightly different opportunity, like a partial retirement before you retire, or retiring earlier, retiring later. Like there's some kind of, I know the term scheme in the US has a negative connotation, but like in other places, it just means a plan. I feel like that's kind of what's here. It's like there's another opportunity for moving forward that when it shows itself, it becomes really clear. So you will be the one deciding, and you'll decide when the time is right. It'll be based on logic, and you'll know to move forward when it's time to move forward. And ultimately, this could be about giving and receiving help. So this might be a decision made in like, oh, someone in my family could really use a little support, and okay, let's pool our resources, or let's share, or let me keep this going a little longer to pay into that, or let me move on now, and then that changes my financial situation where there's actually a net positive. Whatever the case may be, it's going to be very logical. You're going to decide when it's time, and it's going to be your deciding. But yeah, there'll be factors and news that come to you that make that decision really clear. So I can't tell you the answer right now, but what I can tell you is that it will be clear when it's time. And it'll be a really good decision, and you'll know when to move, and you'll have the momentum, like the Irish blessing, may the wind be at your back. I get the sense that the wind is very much at your back. And so you will be supported in going the way that you need to go. So I hope that helps. Physically and emotionally burnt out. I feel like that's a big part of it. Oh, Cora Carr, thank you. Thank you so much for the contribution. I really appreciate that. Lots of love to you, and lots of abundance this year for you and Vincent. Thank you. Gotcha. I'll ask about Dell's things too. So let's get I'm so glad it was validating for you, Rue. Yeah, I feel like the answer is within you, and when it's time, you're just going to know. But it does need to be like a realization within you. But you'll absolutely know, and the wind will be at your back. Like that's the sense I get when I see the Chariot there. So it'll be for good. Okay, cool. So let's go. Would we do a sun sign specific reading? If yes, waiting to hear for Leo for career and love, overall life stability. Would I get back with my ex? So for ABC, it can really be like any like question, or it can be like, hey guides, let me know what's most important, or overall life stability. Let's see what comes up for you with these questions in mind. So let's definitely take a look at overall life stability, and, you know, including the ex, including career and love. Like, let's see what comes up. Okay, so I got a couple of things. So the first that comes up is the Six of Cups. So this is for ABC. Six of Cups is like nostalgia, looking back to older pastimes. So I take with that, like your ex, the question about your ex. So I definitely see that that's coming up. So I'm going to put that to the side because I think some other cards have to do with that. As far as stability, there's a card here about stability, or 2 cards really. 10 of coins is financial stability. And then what it gives me here is 7 of coins, which is really taking a deep inventory and seeing how your money is working for you. Where is it? Where are you spending it? And what do you need to do to either make more, keep more, or use the money that you have to create that stability, letting go of things that are taking up resources but not providing enough, and vice versa. What can you feed that is working really well in your direction? And that'll help with the coin. So basically like prune your finances a little bit and the things that bring you finances. For the other cards, I think have to do with this. So getting back with your ex, where did my other pendulum go? Here it is, right in my lap. Thank you, Holly. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Happy New Year. Okay, good stuff. So let's do ABC. Would you get back with your ex? This is like, you're definitely looking that way. The other cards that come up in your reading are, that doesn't want to be reversed. So Justice, the Lovers, and the Sun. The Sun is about the light shining on everything, truth being in the open. Everything is in the sun where it wants to be. Things grow in the sun. This is also about, it looks like things are moving a little slow and choppy on the screen. Not sure why. Okay. If things are looking a little choppy on the screen, just let me know in the chat. But what I'm getting here, as far as the Lovers and Justice, Okay, so the Sun is about the finances and stability in life in general, that this is really going to be helpful. Things are going to be clear, what you're doing with resources and what you need to do to make things more stable will be made clear, and you will make those decisions. You'll take that step. You'll be really discriminating, and you'll work towards that stability in life. For the romance, I get the sense of, there's this sense of, when you look back, you're seeing what you want to see, like the rose-colored glasses of looking back in time. Justice is seeing it more for what it actually was. And like what you're putting in, what you're getting out, all of those kinds of things, what was really going on in that relationship. And then I get the Lovers here. So, and we have another kitty blessing our reading. Hello, Hattie. So I get the sense of, let's see, will it tell me flat out if you get back with your ex? I'm not getting a direct answer. So this is 2 big major arcana cards. What I get the sense of is going into looking all the way back, and you might be looking back with rose-colored glasses, seeing good things that weren't necessarily there. However, if you look at it more for what it is and creating some kind of justice around that, whether that is, I now know how to step forward in the future, or here's ways that I can show up differently. How it shows, how justice actually parses out here, it's not for me to say. But ultimately, it leads you down a path of the Lovers, which is face-to-face, open heart, open eyes, open everything. Whether you end up with this particular person or not, doing this work and looking back at this relationship through like factual as it happened will lead you to this lover's relationship. With it, whether it's with this person or not, I don't know. But there needs to be like a really bringing things into the light to see what really happened there. And yeah, either way, you end up being set up for a loving relationship. Could be with that person, could be with someone else, but the work you do around that relationship helps you. So I hope that that helps. I hope that that helps, ABC. Awesome, Holly. I am getting to you. Let's see who else. Dell asked for smoking in the house. And MC has a question. And then Holly, you're going to be the last question. So, awesome. So let's go ahead first with, I'm going to get MC Spiritual Healer, and then I'll go to Dell. And then I'll go to Holly. Okay. So MC Spiritual Healer, hello, I love this tarot reading. Outside of Reiki, I'm dealing with many losses at the moment. I'm curious if there any good advice over the next 3 months, maybe good things to come. Let's find out. So let's see. Definitely this deck. Definitely this deck. I'm just actually going to put, after Holly's request, I'm just going to put in the chat, like, so that's just for anyone else coming in. So I'm not taking any more. I'm definitely going to get Lori and Dell's questions. I'm definitely going to get Holly's questions, and I'm definitely going to get MC Spiritual Healer's questions, but no additional ones. Okay, I don't want to leave anybody hanging. Okay, so let's take this in. This is going to be for MC Spiritual Healer for the next 3 months, things to come, and also like coming off a lot of loss. Okay, so this is for MC Spiritual Healer next 3 months. 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 Yeah, now the first card is going to look scary. It's not, I promise. Especially because you've suffered a lot of loss. I promise this is not a scary card. This is the Death card, and in this deck, it actually has a slightly different meaning, but Death also has a very different meaning than most people realize. Death is about natural endings and rebirth. It's also, in this deck, very much like deep personal rebirth. The golden snake with all of the symbols of all the astrological houses is seen as, snakes are seen as sacred in different shamanic cultures. It's seen as a symbol of rebirth because they shed their skin. So they leave behind an old version of themselves when they shed that skin. This is very much the Death card of rebirth, regeneration, and even in classical tarot it has that meaning. It means things coming to an end and something coming new out of that. So if you're coming out of a time of loss, this is a really good card to get because it's like you're emerging anew. The cards after that are Knight of Coins and Nine of Coins. So this is only for the next few months. So for the next few months, you're really focusing on this big energy of bringing yourself out of this time and becoming this new evolved version of yourself, which is a really beautiful way to handle things like loss. Additionally, Knight of Coins, this is like, he's very precise, discriminating. He takes his time. He's very methodical. This is taking a look at your resources and the nuts and bolts of your life and taking a hard look at it before you make changes, but ultimately taking a look at things to make changes with the intention of what in my resources in my life, so finances coming in, but also like stability in general and roof over your head and all that. What needs to shift? What can I change? What's not working for me? And what is, and where do I plant those seeds some more? And then ultimately, the reason that that's important is because it takes you to this place, the Nine of Coins. Nine of Coins is a woman about her life. This is a woman who, like, she has this beautiful garden behind her, and she's got like usually a big bird on her here. She's holding it. But this is about, she's created a life that's meaningful to her. She's got her resources and she's tended her garden to the point where she can say, hey, you want to come over and hang out in my garden? I have plenty of room for you to come hang out here. I've set it up just so. So this is going through your resources and finding the best way to move forward for future stability. And that's part of how you are adapting and changing. So I hope that that helps. But yeah. You're a Scorpio and you love when the death card pops up. Oh, you decided this weekend you want to start a YouTube channel and so you're rebranding. I love it. This is definitely good for that. Like, this portends to good things on resources and stability. Coins is a suit that moves slow, but it's real steady. Not a lot of big shifts. And I'm glad that you take that death card as like rebirth, and that's absolutely Scorpio magic. Absolutely Scorpio magic. Yeah, I have an Aries rising, so I know I can do that too if I want to, but a lot of times it's just like, burn it. And then my sun sign is like, all of it? And then my moon sign is like, well, all right. If we're going to set it on fire, let's make some s'mores. Let's make some s'mores. So, okay, so next is going to be, oh, I hear the cats talking. Okay, good stuff. So we got to do, Lori Curtis love life this year. These cards have not wanted to shuffle. There we go. I hear the kittens making noise. What you doing? Love life for Lori. 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 Wow. I'm glad you asked. This is great. Awesome, MC. Cora Card, thank you so much for explaining the cinnamon on the door. You are so right. That is such a cool thing. I'm absolutely going to do it today. I also like to do a potpourri. The air in here tends to get really dry because of what I use for heating. So I take some orange slices that I've dehydrated and some whole sticks of cinnamon. I crush it up in there and I just boil it, and I just put the intention, I do some Reiki on it, and I put the intention that all of that abundance and energy be part of the steam that fills the house and makes the air more comfortable. And I do that too. And then I take some of that cinnamon orange water and I put it on the door. But yeah, if you do it that way, like just know it, if you boil it down into a tea and then put it on the door, it can leave stains, depending on what your door is made of. But yeah, I find it helpful. So let's see. So Lori, your love life this year is like, hey, make a wish. Lots to share. This is wonderful. Nine of Cups is definitely a wish card. This is considered like the benevolent merchant card. It's like, hey, I have 9 whole cups of wine. You want one? And this is all about emotional fulfillment. This is lovely. Yeah, are you yelling at me? Patty is yelling at me. We'll play toys in a little bit. Next one is Ace of Swords. So this is like you have this clarity, this epiphany, this like mentally like sharpness where you're able to like see through different relationship things and different love things and see a way to shift things. Oh, hello. And then, well, ma'am, if that's not clear, sometimes the tarot cards mean something quite opposite. Not in that case. That's about really beautiful, like soulmate based love. Like that's good. That's good relationship. So this is like lots of opportunities to feel emotional fulfillment. Logic coming through. You're able to like see it for what it is. And the lovers, this is open-hearted, honest, beautiful, well-balanced, loving relationship. So that's good. Very, very good. Let's also do... Oh, yes. Somebody is purring and wants kisses. Okay. I'm going to go to Holly's request real quick and then do Dell's for smoking in the house. So Holly wondering if the guides or your team has any messages for you at this time. Awesome. Yes. Let's see if the guides have any. Guides have any messages for Holly. Let's see what deck. Steampunk Tarot wants to come out for you, hon. Oh, we've got the purr machine. Keep bringing those good vibes, little purr machine. Kitty's blessing readings. We love it. So Holly Huss. Do her guides or team have any messages for Holly at this time? Holly's guides. Messages at this time. Sorry if the shuffling gets a little loud. We're getting a lot of the same cards for folks. There's a lot of themes this year for sure. Yeah. So the first one that comes out is Six of Pentacles, and this is, again, giving and receiving help. This is you sharing your light, who you are, and potentially like financial support to those you love and care about, and also some support, financial, emotional, all of the above, may be coming to you from those you love and care about. So there could be a shift in resources there, but in a very good way. The next card that comes from that, there's a card there for Queen of Pentacles. I feel like you'll be growing into a bit more of a Queen of Pentacles, thinking about the financial and resource needs in the future for those you care about as well as yourself, and kind of stepping into that role of let's make sure everybody's financial needs are met, Queen Mama sort of vibe, and that's awesome. The card that came up in between those two is the High Priestess. So this is another wish card. Definitely make a wish. This is your guide saying, oh, you rang? Oh, we are right here. And we will be here when you have questions. We will have answers. This can mean like secrets and things that are to be shared with you. Like things may come up, like your guides will kind of make it real clear to you when they are meant to show up. But this is also a card of very aligned with everything I would think like Moonstone to be. Divine timing and trusting divine timing, trusting like your knowledge of cycles and things like that. I almost feel like if you take a close look at what's going on, you might even be able to suss out what this specifically relates to. But this is your guides basically saying, oh, we are right with you. Oh, don't think for a moment that we're not going to let you see what's important in that crystal ball when it's time. Because if you notice, she's kind of got her hand over that crystal ball. She's only going to show you what she wants you to see when it's time to see it. Same thing with those cards. So this is basically your guide saying, we got you, there's a plan, and we're going to let you see what you need to see when you need to see it, but also be in contact and concert with your guides. Tell them what you want to know, tell them what you're struggling with, and things will become clear. But yeah, that's a beautiful card. So your guides are like, oh yeah, we're here. Then we get two other cards. Nine of Pentacles, which very much goes with those first two cards. This again is the woman with her own garden. She has her own resource stability. She has tended her garden. She has plucked the weeds. She has planted the seeds, and she has allowed things to build and thrive. She's got perception, and she's got her birds with her. She can invite whoever she wants into that garden. It's built around her wants and needs. So this is very much you growing into this sort of like a queen mama of the money, queen mama of the resources. Does everyone have their needs met? Most of all me. And there's also a Page of Pentacles. So a lot of this has to do with resources and money. Page of Pentacles is about new opportunities and messages around finances and resources. This is the page, so this is like a childlike energy, new messages, new opportunities. This might be like meeting with a financial advisor and they're like, hey, you want to do this? Because this will bring you into the next level. It's something along those lines, like a message, an idea, something new to take into account of. But this is all about resources. All about resources. It's giving and receiving help is where you're starting. This is big time wealth planning for the future. So this is like, if she's like giving the kids $20 here and there to go to the movies, this is someone putting together the trust for the future. And this is someone who is like, I did my planning, I did my hard work, and this is what I grew in it. This is what I allowed to flourish and thrive based on new information, new ideas, and your guides are not going to step astray. They are going to be right by your side the whole time and make sure that you don't take a misstep. So that's a great reading. Your guides are super there. So all the best to you, Holly. Hey, Charmy. Charmy, I'll try to squeeze you in, but I got two more readings. So, gotcha. Oh, and I got those, Lori. Thank you. So, Holly, I hope that helps. Let me know if it does or doesn't. And let's take a peek for Dell for smoking and then selling the house. So let's start with smoking. And do we want to do Steampunk Tarot? Yes. Do you want to play with my pendulum, little kitten? No, 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 no. Maybe. Not sure. Oh, she's bringing all the purrs. We've got Hattie Cat bringing the purrs. Okay, so smoking. Well, Natalika, I don't know if we can squeeze you in. I've been here for a few hours. I will see what we get to. Let's see. Okay. Dell with quitting smoking. Okay, so quitting smoking. Seek wisdom or support from outside, someone who already has successfully quit, or like a doctor with a prescription, or talk to someone who knows about quitting and what options you may have to help you. And then I get the Moon and the Two of Swords. The Moon is like a difficult time, but it's a time where we don't get to know a lot about. It's challenging, but ultimately we end up in better waters on the other side of it. Things are only lit by the moon, and you're kind of hearing threats in the distance, but you're deciding where to go. It's usually seen as like a trying time. And I would, as someone who's quit smoking, yeah, that could pretend to that time where you're quitting. It also could be as a part of something else. You quit because you have to, or something along those lines. There's like something, there's a trying time there. And ultimately it comes down to having to see really clearly that it's a decision to make. And I know that it's easy for me to sit and say like, oh, just make the decision. But at the same time, as someone who quit, I know it's not that easy. I tried to quit so many times before I finally did. So I feel like there is support, guidance, wisdom that can be shared on the quitting journey. A time that's difficult that could be a health challenge, like where you're in a hospital and you can't smoke. I hope it's nothing that serious. I hope it's more just like it just something happens where like you're either unable to smoke or you don't want to quit and you want to, but ultimately there's a choice that you make where you can leave it behind. So it's possible to do this, but it's hard. And Holly Huss, I would definitely say thinking about learning more about finances. Yeah, there's I don't know where you are. In Philadelphia, we have Finanta. It used to be Consumer Credit Counseling Service of Delaware Valley, which totally rolled off the tongue, hence why it's now called Finanta. But they're a nonprofit that helps individuals with their financial goals. And because they're a nonprofit, they're a lot more aligned with like getting you to your goals and not selling financial products, i.e. loans and things like that. But definitely whether it's content creators you seek out, if it's like a financial advisor, if it's a nonprofit or a for-profit, because for-profit doesn't necessarily mean bad. Yeah, that reading definitely suggests like gathering all that information and making good choices because you have lots of opportunities this year. For selling the house for Dell. 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 And have cat sleeping in my lap. Let's move this here. Trying not to shuffle right in the microphone. Dell selling the house. Dell selling the house. Dell selling the house. Things look favorable for selling the house, to be honest. Here we get the 8 of Wands. It's like it's already in motion, like it's already happening. And that's a good thing. That's like a good way to put this. It's like you've already put the energy into getting it out there. It's a good way to do it. Good way to explain this. Yeah, this is like there's a lot of energy and it moves forward quickly. So I wouldn't be surprised if all of the sudden there's like an interest and things start to move forward. And then after that is the 4 of Wands, which is celebration, kind of putting, again, this is another card that's come up a lot for a lot of folks today. This is putting up your cornerstones in your life in a way that you want to, as a result of your actions, and it's a celebrations card. It's an excellent card to get. So this is like, it's already, like there's already energy moving to get this done. I feel like it'll be fast when it happens, things going your way. And I just get this kind of card here of 2 of Pentacles, which is like, I feel like there might be this time right around the closing and things like that where you're like, okay, I'm balancing, you know, the finances. I feel like I'm treading water. I'm not underwater, but I'm above the water, but I'm paying careful attention to the resources to make sure I stay in balance. And then, yeah, Queen of Pentacles, which is everything you want for like things like selling a house, like using those resources, reinvesting those resources well. The one card I do get is like 7 of Cups. I feel like the answer is yes for selling. I feel like for reinvesting, you might want to move a little slower and take a fine look. This is 7 of Cups. That's the illusion delusion card. Here's this guy, he's very posh, very rich, and he's looking at all of his trophies that he has. And are they all really trophies? Are they all really there? There could be some murkiness around what to do with the money after the sale, like where you're going and where you want to put that money. And you might not want to just drop it in the first thing that comes along. You might want to be like really discriminating about how you choose to reinvest or what you choose to do with the money there. But I definitely see the move happening quick. It leaves you in a better position. Just make sure that you're checking all the fine print and really taking time to make the decisions you want. But overall, really good. That's really good. So yeah, I do see you selling your house, I believe. I do. I hope that that's the case. Charmy. So Charmy and Natalika, if you're still here, I'll do your reading and that'll be the last one. I know I've said that like 3 times already, but I do have another live stream at 6 for Reiki. So I want to make sure that I'm ready for that. So questions are structured for the session, but would love any insight you have for me for Charmy. So insight for Charmy. And the deck that wants to come out for that. Fountain Tarot. And thank you everyone that's been here and hanging out. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, thank you everyone who's been here and hanging out. This has been a beautiful way to spend the new year. I do have, if anybody or anyone you know is looking for a full reading, through January, there's a coupon code for readings. My readings for one-on-one are on Zoom. It's an hour long of live you and me. And it is usually $75 and it is $65 this month with coupon code TAROT2024. TAROT2024. Just type that in when you're scheduling on my website and it'll take $10 off. And my website is Learn Reiki Philadelphia. It's linked in the description. But honestly, I'm just so happy that I got to spend part of New Year's with you. It's a great day for finding out new things, setting intentions. And if you want to do some energy clearing and intention setting, I'll be doing Reiki and crystals at 6. So for Charmy, I'm going to do 3 more shuffles. Oh, awesome. So Charmy, the first card that comes up is the Lovers. The Lovers can be literal love relationships, or it can be relationships with like partnerships with other people, like business partners even, or family members. But these are honest, open, face-to-face, heart-to-heart connections that are very balanced. So this could be literal love if that's what's been on your mind. This is like soulmate type connection, or like really good partnerships. So that's excellent. On top of that is 6 of Wands. 6 of Wands is a card of celebration, being celebrated and recognized for something you've done or something you've achieved. That's lovely. And there's also a card of Page of Coins. That's come up for, that kind of energy has come up for a lot of us today. Page of Coins, pages are like messenger energy. They're young, new opportunity types of things. So I feel like there may be a new opportunity, a new situation, a new way to look at resources, money, but roof over your head, all of those kinds of things may impact work, may impact career, or it may just impact how you use and approach those earnings. But there's new opportunities there. And I feel like 2 more cards want to jump out. Aha. Oh, good stuff. So both of them are coins or pentacles, same difference. So financial resource stability. So this is like, what is this clarity about money going to be? And I get like 2 of coins. Like right now you might feel as though you're treading water, like things are okay, you're not at a loss, but it feels like you constantly have to like tend the resources to keep them balanced, almost like treading water. And this is a card of hard at work, earning. It's like the Apprentice card. So this might be moving on in your career, or it might be doing things differently in your career. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is even like a job opportunity or a career opportunity or something just off of that. And it takes you from treading water and trying to balance with what you have to working hard to create more in the future. So there is definitely good balanced relationships, perhaps literal love. Celebration of you and what you've achieved. And I wouldn't be surprised if this ends up being like a promotion or something you can do positive with finances to take you to a better place. Oh, thank you, Del. Blessings to you too. And blessings to you too, Rue. Oh, Lori, I'm so glad. I'm so glad you clapped. Awesome. Cool. And Charmy, that's really great. Good relationships and hard work and career that's gonna like be good. Like, good for you. Thank you. That's awesome. I wish you all the best, Charmy. And Natalika, let's see. A reading for losing weight. Absolutely. So let's see which deck wants to come out. And let's see. Not that one. Tarot of Dreams by Ciro Marchetti. So last reading, Natalika, about weight loss. cat is super into watching me shuffle cards. Are you watching me shuffle cards? Yes, you are. You want to put some good blessings on this card reading, little lady? Aw, thank you. So your card reading has been blessed by the Hattie cat in my lap. Okay, cool. So here's what we got. So a card that has come up for a lot of people today is the Hierophant, and that's usually like spiritual synthesis. Like way back in the day, that used to be called the Pope card, and that's like someone who is a spiritual leader, someone who leads from experience, kind of thing. In this deck, the Tarot of Dreams by Ciro Marchetti, that Hierophant card is replaced with faith, and it's much more about like going within to that spiritual place for inner growth, refinement, connection to spirit, like a spiritual revolution, and working towards enlightenment and things that are important. And as far as like, and matters of faith, regardless of the faith that you are, because it's got all the different symbols of all the major faiths all around. So this is like, this journey is more of a spiritual journey for you, and one of inner transformation more than just the outer transformation. And it is really significant. That's a major arcana card, so that's soul energy. It's big stuff. The next card is 10 of Swords in the Mind. So this is, it looks really scary, but let me let you know what it means. So 10 is like the biggest, fullest amount of that suit. And swords are mental. That's our system of logic and thinking. And this feels like just so stressed out mentally that it's like, I feel like I just can't even think about this anymore. I'm totally overwhelmed and it's really hard. And then there's this King of Wands. Kings are energy of making things that work bigger, and wands are action. So I feel like there's this sense of like mental exhaustion and mental resignation, almost like I've been torturing myself with this and I just can't continue anymore. And then you find some way to like process that like spiritually, and then take that energy, that like misplaced mental energy there, where it's like your mind is driving you bonkers. Because I usually say this to the people I read tarot for, it's like humans, we're like the worst primates. We drive ourselves wild in our minds. And that's what this card kind of alludes to. When we talk about the King of Wands, this is using your physical energy to help you work through it. So I feel like this is you showing up into your weight loss journey in a way where you're physically putting energy out while also relieving pains on the mind. So the weight loss journey becomes more of like a personal evolution kind of journey that does way more for you than simple weight loss. And I feel like there might be two other cards. Yeah. Oh, this is great. Okay. The Fool is almost like a fresh start. And it's usually born of this. So like 10 is the highest number. We see the cycle of 10 over and over again in tarot. And the Ace is like, okay, burst of new energy. And then it's like 2, 3, 4, 5. 10 is like, okay, I can't take anymore. I'm done. Something has to change. And the biggest change could be like an Ace, or even better yet, a major arcana like the Fool, which is not to say foolish. No, a fool is like it's the number 0 in the tarot. It's like this person is coming in to start a new journey. He's usually shown carrying like the smallest knapsack, or like a bindle, like that. It's like a long stick with a cloth tied around it with just the barest of essentials from his past life coming into his new life, with much higher ideals and goals and things in mind. This is a good fresh start. This is where you want to be after you let go of that weight, like mental weight, not physical weight. And it also shows that you're going to be supported emotionally through this. Like there's going to be friends and people who love you and care about you that you can spend that time celebrating with. You can rely on and lean on and have good times with to keep you going. But I definitely see this as like the mental stuff at the foundation of the weight loss journey has to be tended with. It's almost like you reach a point of not being able to go any further until it's dealt with. And then you find a way to like really throw yourself into that physical activity. You may even seek the help of someone who shows up as like a personal trainer or someone who leads classes and stuff like that. But I do see it moving forward, but I see it being more of like a soul. You find a newer version of yourself beyond just weight. So it's a really beautiful thing. Thank you, Charmy. I hope that was helpful. And Natalika, I hope that helps you too. But basically, weight loss journey, yeah. And it's going to be a journey that touches all aspects of your life for the better. So that's a cool thing. So know that if you hit like a mental roadblock with this, it's okay. It's the beginning of the next steps. So it's totally okay. So I hope that that helps. And if you need any support along your journey, I do community distance Reiki 5 times a week. You're always welcome here. It's same 5 days and 5 times every week. Oh, we have a kitty blessing. We have a kitty blessing. Who is that? Is that Hattie? It's Hattie. Yeah, is that you? You knew it was time? You knew it was time. So I hope that that helps. I hope that's supportive. Okay, Natalika, absolutely. Oh, blessings from the kitten cat. She went right into the camera. Yes, you did. Everyone, thank you so much for this beautiful way to start off the new year. This was a wonderful way to hang out, get to know each other, get some answers to questions. You all are, hey, it's good to see you, Alana. I'm just closing down. I'm so sorry. Happy New Year to you too. I will be back at 6 with some Reiki. But everyone, thank you so much for all of your questions, all of your insights, everything that you shared with each other and shared with me. And I just see so much potential for this year. It's sort of like weeding the garden and then tending what we want to grow seems like a theme that I noticed today. And that's a really beautiful thing for a year forward. Alana, I hope you're well. Definitely reach out to me if you need just a couple cards thrown because I feel bad. But yeah, I should close this down before more people come in. But let me know. But Alana, I'm totally okay to throw a couple cards for you later. Let me know. You can reach out to me through the website, learnreikiphiladelphia.com, or message me during the grid making later, and I'll just throw a couple cards for you on the side. So I hope you all are well, but everyone have a beautiful rest of your day. Oop, my ring just tapped on metal, so now Hattie is scared. Hattie, come on over. Say hi to peoples. You want to say hi? Do you want to say hi? Nope, you're jumping? Okay. Thank you all for being here. Have a beautiful, beautiful new year ahead. And have a happy new year. I hope to see you all again soon. Take care and bye for now.